Welcome to another edition of the King's Court. I am your wonderful, cool, sexy, laid back, smooth motherfucker by the name of the Lion King. And we have our lovely co host, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Zeta Queen, the one that does it all. Miss Nikki, how you doing today, baby girl?
Hey, hey, how are you?
This today, this has been a week for me. If niggas have been on my page, they know this has been a week for me.
It
But
has.
God be praised in the firmament of His people. Your boy is still standing stronger than ever. What the song say? I shall not be moved. What they say in let the Lord use it in the
Let
best
the
way that He
Lord
knows.
use me.
Yeah, let him use you, let him use it, let him use it, let him lose you too. It's all in the same. All in the same game. But how you doing, baby girl? What's been popping on in your week, man? I heard you ain't feeling too good this week.
No, my sinus, I got like a sinus, real bad sinus infection. So, um, yeah, it's been
You,
going on since November. It's gotten worse. So, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. And it's Blue Week this week and Blue Week next week. It's Zeta Phi Beta week next week. This week is Sigma week. Hey, we blew all week for the next 2 weeks. We blew.
oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
We blew.
Long as you ain't blue on the
Everybody
inside,
who
as long
follows,
long long as you're not feeling sad and blue on the inside, I'm
no,
with you 100%. Well, I want to welcome everybody to the show. If you're watching, please feel free to leave a comment. Please feel free to join the conversation. You can call in and talk to us at any given time throughout the show. But uh, boy, it's amazing that I'm starting off talking so smooth, but I got some
oh,
shits to play today. I don't even know exactly where I want to begin and where we gonna end. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Um, but let's start
okay.
right about here.
Oh Lord.
Um, and I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna lead into this conversation. I'm just gonna play the clips. As y'all know how we do on the show, we play the clips and then we discuss everything from that point. But
Oh,
I want you to to really listen to what this lady says. And when I say listen, I don't mean just listen. I want you to count if you can.
count.
Just listen, pay attention to what she says, and count. Th- did I get were those instructions hard?
No, but go ahead.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do, let me see. I'm gonna first bring the little lady up. You see her right there? It's a beautiful lady. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And I want you to let me move her over here because I want y'all to hear what she's going to say in totality. Okay. So just take a quick peek and listen to this.
I'm probably as fuck, y'all, but I know that many of you don't understand what that means. So I'm gonna draw you a diagram to explain what my life looks like as a solo poly person. So I am at the center and I am my primary partner. There are people who I'm exploring, people who I'm dating, my friends with benefits who I'm romantic with and sexual with, my lovers who I'm sexual with, my partners who I'm 10 toes down with, satellites who come in and out of my life, and playmates who I play with in the kink and swinging spaces. My life is filled with so many beautiful people who love me, care about me, and all of our relationships are slightly different, but the love is the same. And when it comes to my sexual partners, of course, I am protecting myself by getting tested regularly. I'm currently on PrEP, and I give my partners my test results and we talk about what our sexual experiences are to make sure that everybody involved is protected. Because if I were to do like other lines from certain partners, they have connections to wives or husbands or other partners that they interact with. So yes, it looks like a lot. Yes, I can keep up with it all. Yes, I have calendars. Yes, I make time for all of them. Yes, we communicate. That's a part of being poly.
Okay. Um, I didn't know. I didn't know poly was that many partners. Um, yeah, I didn't know it was that many partners. That was one. Two, you on prep, so that means you already have HIV. Three, um, so you're not using protection because you got to keep going back getting tested. So you count it again: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I think it's eight altogether, isn't it? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I think it's eight.
When I tell you you way off, you way off.
88.
No, you
One,
way off.
two,
Wait, let me finish. You know, you
three,
got no,
four.
no. Slow down, slow down, slow
I'm
down.
going by the circles or you going by the lines?
No, okay, okay. First of all, you have to pay attention that this is her right here.
Exactly.
That's what she's pointing to. But
Right.
then you have to look up at the difference. So each line that goes up, right?
Yes.
It will give a number to how many people that she's sleeping with. So right here, this first line is one person that she's sleeping with. The
Right.
second line is two people that she's sleeping with. Now we're gonna move it
And
over.
I am my primary partner. There are people who I'm
It's one,
exploring, people who I'm
two,
dating, my friends with benefits
okay.
who I'm
Three friends with benefits are three, four, five, six, seven. Okay. Now,
romantic with and sexual with, my lovers who I'm sexual with.
okay, we got to go back to lovers.
That's 13.
So we were seven. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, right. Now I'm going to keep going.
With and sexual with, my lovers who I'm sexual with, my partners who I'm 10 toes down with, satellites who come in and out of my life, and playmates who I play with in the kink and swinging.
Okay. So
Okay,
that's
so we
seven.
got
So the
17, 18,
17
19,
people.
20, 21, 22,
So 17 people.
24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Then the two at the top.
But the ones that she's sleeping with is 17. So we got to stop at that number. Because she said some people were just like in another group.
She said the other ones are the swingers and the kinky.
That's the 17 that gets to the 17.
Okay.
That's it. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's 17 people
Yes.
that she's sleeping with.
Yes.
And you're including all of the other people
Right.
that they're sleeping with. Okay, what do you feel about that?
That's too many people to be sleeping with at one time.
Like I understand.
I
Listen,
think it's too many people to be sleeping with one time. Cause that's why she gotta keep getting tested. I mean, what?
listen. I understand the lifestyle. So this is not a knock at anybody in the
It's
lifestyle.
not knocking at
I'm
all.
not saying that
It's
at
not
all.
me. That's not my cup of
Yeah,
tea.
I get you. So we got 17 people that one person is sleeping with. But then you got to add in all of those 17 people and figure out, like, let's just say, what if out of those 17 people, each one of them was sleeping with 17 people?
That's too many people.
Even if they were only sleeping with two, right? That's a lot of people
That's a lot of people at one time.
at one time.
He
And
ain't never tired.
and as beautiful as she explained what she was doing, I just can't see it. I'm trying to be
And
very
the
careful
thing
because I don't want
is,
to bash. I don't want to bash the community because that's
then
not
she
what I do. I got a
also
lot of friends in
stated,
the community. I rock with the community.
right?
But
She also stated that they all know. So it's just they all know. It ain't nothing to hide because they all know.
it's still not that. I'm not talking about the hiding, right? But to say seven, like for me to lay with anyone and to know that there are 16 other people that they're laying with. I'm like, what is the time that you're laying with them? What is because if you start talking about the kink thing, then that adds to that number because they might be adding extra people into their kink.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I mean, I know a lot of people who's in that lifestyle, and I get it. I understand it completely. And I just be still in awe with like y'all don't be tired. That'll be me. And then how do your body as a woman
How do you? How does a man like? Listen, okay.
I don't even know how guys be like, oh, okay.
I don't even know how. Okay, ooh, I got to be careful with this.
Go
I
ahead.
I wonder. Okay, what the feeling is
Yeah. That's what I was saying
with
about the woman part.
17 partners.
How does that what you call it? Get back right for the next person, or it doesn't matter.
Hey,
All
this,
in where you get in. I don't know.
what? Yeah, where do you fall in? Like, so, is it
Oh.
is it if I'm number 17? Am I only
Are
on the
you
17th
17 that
day?
day?
Am I the
Or
yeah? That's what I'm
how many
saying. Like, am I
numbers
the 17th do I expect to see you on the 17th?
or how many was it in that day before you got there?
Mm, that's a whole nother question because of the conversation of the kink, it does not specify
Hmm.
when she's laying with him.
Right. What if you
Or it does not specify the relationship that she has with one person because they may bring someone else
yeah,
into
that's the thing. This is her
that's
one person that she had a line up there with a circle as well. So
well, yeah. Well, the first line, okay, the first line was explaining who that group was. Then
uh-huh.
that's why it went out to the other line. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, if she said, like, my main, and that was the
Same
first person.
name.
You understand what I'm saying? Then it went off to that one person. That's why it was only one name there. Then there
Right,
was another guy that had a main position, another name, but then another one went off to like three or four.
right.
Then the next one went off to about another six. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. How do you even explain?
You can't.
Everybody, please share the show if you out there. Share the show. Ding,
They
ding.
said
Tag
what
your
they
peoples.
said, she said, well, we all show our test results. What? What we doing? And then she said, well, they all know. So I'm also on prep. That threw me back.
You know the craziest part about that is, okay, let's just say you test off 17 people and everybody's good, right? And then you come back 6 months from now and one person is not good, but they've been interacting and this has affected all 17 people.
I know. Whew.
And all of the people that they are attached to. So that number grows tremendously in from one.
Yeah.
That's listen, I'm not pouring no salt on nobody.
Hey,
But
me
you know, I'm
neither.
just saying, just
At
think
least they
about the
all
pros and cons.
well, the thing is, hopefully they all honest with everybody that they messing with. So everybody know. But that's another thing that a lot of people don't say. They in, the lifestyle, or they like to do other things because they don't want the person that they trying to be with not like them.
That's a little bit crazy.
And
Well,
then
you
you
know, it's
find out
around
later.
Texas.
Then you
You know,
find out later they was in it, and you were like, "You son of a."
hey, well, you know, it's right around tax time, right?
Oh Lord, yes.
Okay. Did you hear about the lady that? Okay. Imagine you have to call the IRS because maybe you're trying to track where your money is.
Okay.
Let's start there. Let's see what happens in this situation.
Yo, I'm trying to get my money from the IRS. I called their 1-800 number. The lady put me on hold. And Hunger not. Wait, my friend. You hear? Hunger is knocked out. Watch this though. And we've been trying to say hello. Hello, ma'am. Hello. 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 It's off mute. Hello. Hello. Press some buttons. I tried to press some buttons. Baby, huh? Iris, this who y'all got working for y'all? This who y'all got working for y'all? This why people be mad. All I want is my money. I ain't got my 2022 taxes because y'all got employees doing this. talking about dead sleep. I ain't even got her on mute no more. I know she hit me. I got her number, her ID number, Mrs. Evans, because I'm pretty sure y'all record the calls, I would hope. Y'all don't record calls? I hope y'all record calls. Miss Evans, you're going viral, baby. I hope you know. I'm telling my baby is tired. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Well, you know the government, you know the IRS people still work from home. So she probably did go to
Fuck that. It's time to go crazy.
sleep.
It's time to go crazy. Like,
She went to sleep. But I mean, she just maybe she has like the what is it that you just fall asleep?
insomniac.
No, it ain't. It's,
Yeah, people that go to sleep. Yeah, insomniac.
You just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she got that.
Okay.
But I don't even think they're back in the office yet.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
What year was that again?
That was this shit. That's shit that's recent. So
Oh, this is recent. Oh,
yeah, so a motherfucker is calling. Let's just look at the whole shindig. A nigga is calling because they want to get something done. And then she initially picked up the phone. This is the killer part.
yeah.
Put her on hold and came back, and this motherfucker was asleep. Now you would expect that from Walmart.
You said what?
I'm serious. You would expect that from Walmart because guess what? You got average niggas working in Walmart.
Okay.
You got motherfuckers that's alcoholics working in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So somebody might have slipped through the cracks and got to the telephone lines. And you got niggas that just go to sleep at work.
Okay.
Okay. But when you call the IRS, that's just like right now, somebody breaking in your crib and you say, I'm about to call the police.
And they go to sleep.
And you call the police and they say, hold on 1 second. And then next thing you know, you like, they're getting close. I hear them outside the room. And a motherfucker is snoring in the background.
Yeah, that would irritate me. That would make me upset. Very
irritate me. Listen, man. Like listen. Only thing that I think that she did that was smart was record her self calling the IRS because they could track that call, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the smartest thing that she did because you saw the actual phone number in the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Then when her friend was like, dial, hit the number. She's like, I am. Boop, 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 boop. Ain't nobody picking up. Yeah. The IRS gonna owe me a couple $100. You gonna owe me. You should owe me something for that. You should owe me something. You should be like, for your inconvenience, let me go ahead and give you an extra rack because you shouldn't have went through that shit.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have went through that shit.
She able to record herself on the phone? She recorded
somebody else was recording. She was at work.
Oh.
So her girl she probably said, hey, record this shit for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay.
I wouldn't even know what to do if that was happening to me.
All right, now I'm gonna tell you this next clip. When I tell you this shit rubs me in all type of ways wrong.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna play it and I'm not gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna let y'all watch this.
I see a eviction notice on the front door. And look at my wife. Just in there acting like a home. Casually just packing stuff up while we getting put out. You mind telling me what happened?
Yes. I bought the car sitting outside.
Okay.
I bought myself a Chanel bag.
You bought yourself a Chanel bag, but you didn't pay for the mortgage?
I wanted to do something.
Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? Did you really just sit here and tell me you bought a Chanel bag? Meanwhile, we were 7 months behind all our mortgage.
The lights are still on.
For who? Not for us? The next person's gonna live in this house? That doesn't serve us any good.
You watch TV, there's a remote.
Where am I gonna watch TV at? Outside? On the street? You really sit here and act like ain't nothing going wrong and it's not a big deal, and we're literally getting put out of our house. Do you forget how hard we worked for this house? I saved for years to put even a down payment on this house. I trusted you with my money.
I bought you
I don't care about that. Take it back. I don't want anything. I want my house. I cannot believe this. And you just acting like ain't nothing wrong right now. Oh my God, like, are you kidding me?
Well, you want to help me?
No, I want my house. Where? Where? Not this one. This is the house that I want. Yes, we're getting put out because you were irresponsible.
Okay. Let's just say you go to work, and let's just say for some reason your man is the one that's at home. Or let's just say they working too, or whatever. But you turning your money over because you trust the person you're in a relationship with, right?
Right.
Okay. And this person decides to spend the money on a car. This person decides to spend the money on a Chanel bag. What's your response? You lose it because at that point, the 7 months, he just said we lost the house. Not we about to lose the house.
Right.
Not we in debt. Not he just finding out that he's in debt. He's finding out that the house that he saved. How many years did he say he saved to get that crib?
7.
7 years. You save money for 7 years to get a crib. And the second you get the crib, your wife or your partner spends the money on personal things and then tells you, hey, Steph, hey, baby, and then tells you, well, I bought you some.
Okay, so
How that cookie gonna crumble?
it ain't, because I've been in like a little bit similar situation, but no, he was a little bit calmer than me. I probably would have been more living, definitely, because if I saved all that money and then you usually go buy a car, that cars, screw a car. You know what I'm saying? My thing is screw a car. First off, 7 months of the money for the mortgage. 7 months of the
So
money for the mortgage.
you've been fucking off the money
For 7 months.
for 7.
Not just the one payment, but 7 months of payments.
Come on, let the Lord use you, baby. I feel you. Come on, let the Lord use you. I hear you.
7 months of payments.
7
Then
months.
you go and get a freaking raggedy looking car, probably, or whatever name of the car is, that doesn't even have, once it's off the lot, it ain't no good no more. You just rolling around thinking you are all of that in the back of your. Then you use money to get a designer. Look, I don't mind people that like Chanel. I personally don't like Chanel, but if you like Chanel, then you just like Chanel. At the end of the day, I think her prices are too much for a purse. But a Chanel bag, so you did all of that for a Chanel bag and whatever car that you got out front. It could be a BMW, it could be a Mercedes, it could be whatever the hell you wanted it to be. But at the end of the day, you let our house go.
You let that shit go.
You let the house go.
And
The
you walking
house
around the house, and you walking around like ain't nothing wrong. You walking around like I bought you a
for
bag.
7 months, you just walking around like everything is good. Pulled up in the car, husband didn't probably ask no questions of what about the car. She probably said, oh, well, I just finally did something good for myself. I got me a little raise or something, did something for herself. They gonna bring him a little old janky little box or whatever that is in a
You
box.
bought you a car.
Maybe, but I don't know. Nah, hell no. I mean, marriage would be over. I'm so serious. Marriage would be over. I want all my money back. I'm taking your ass to court. I'm doing everything I possibly can to get my money back and putting you out this. I'm gonna put you out the house. If I can save my house, I'm putting you out the house. We're done. That's one thing. Don't play with me and my money. Don't do that. Because you will get kicked out. It's over. It's over. Over and over. 2 times over.
I'm going by what he said.
7 years.
You said like maybe if he can get the house back. but
Maybe
from what he's saying,
it's over.
it's
It's in foreclosure.
the house that I saved up 7 years to get. And then this is the part that killed me. He said, I've been giving you money. Because when I first watched the clip, I was like, well, is this nigga working? Like, is he bringing anything to the table? That was my first question. Because I was going to be ready to go in on dude. I'm like, nigga, well, you can't sit up here and make no arguments and you ain't carrying your weight. But
She was taking care of the bills. So he was bringing in the money and she was taking care of the bills.
and if you think about it,
well, most of it is like that. The guy brings in the money. Usually the wife is the one making sure they dotting the T's and making sure the money is going out right. So she wasn't even. How about he said about the lights? He was like, well, leave the lights on. He looking like, oh, now you finally want to pay the light bill? Oh my God.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing.
It hit me too many nerves. I've been there on some of this stuff.
This is the thing. This is the thing. For you to say at least the lights on, what am I supposed to say? Well, thank you. I at least got lights to carry my shit out of here. The light's gonna be on while I'm carrying my shit up out of here.
No.
And I'm still listen, and if the bill is in my name, I still got to pay that.
That part.
Like I'm just thinking about who was the bill's name in. It seems like it was probably in his, by the way that they was talking. So you mean to tell me at least you paid the bill that I got? But no, you paid something on the bill that I'm gonna have to pay because the light's still on. I'm gonna have to pay once I get up out of here, and then I got to make sure these lights is on when I move wherever I gotta go.
And he better than me because I'll be going somewhere else and she gonna have to figure it out.
But man,
I'm so serious.
I swear to God, I'm trying to get to a point where I just don't argue.
But also, I was wondering when he said it was final. I was also wondering if it was under foreclosure or they did a short sale and then someone already bought the house. He made it sound like they don't even have he don't have no wiggle room to try to even keep the house. That's what it sounded like to me.
Man, come on, man. Come on.
And he said he loved that house. So when a person said they love it, I don't know where she gonna go, but she wouldn't be coming with me.
Oh man. All right.
That's for sure.
Now listen. I want y'all to listen to what this white lady is saying about y'all and y'all kids' names.
Oh.
Black people are notorious for naming their children 25-letter names that they're never going to get even pronounced right, let alone spelled right. Like, why would you do that?
Do you know why they actually do that? Yeah. The reason for that is because during slavery, their identities were taken away. So they had to have unique names in order to identify their offspring when they were sold from different plantations. So that came down generationally as generational trauma.
Okay, well, how about now? Isn't that sort of trauma for that poor kid that's never going to have his name spelled right?
Only to your standards.
Like, if I were that child, I wouldn't want my name misspelled all the way through or mispronounced by people.
That's because people can't take the time to pronounce it correctly.
Whatever.
You can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but you can't say Jaquan. Are you kidding me?
Okay, whatever the result is, the poor child does not have his name pronounced correctly or spelled correctly.
Because people do not take the time. You can take the extra 2 seconds to do it, but instead you're sitting here making fun of a whole culture of people for things that they didn't have a choice on.
Do you have a name that gets misspelled a lot?
I sure don't. Well, because my mom whitewashed my name.
So that's racist.
Okay.
What is your opinion on that?
Well, I have two different opinions on that.
I do too. I do too. I got two. I was sitting up there like, oh man, I'm a
I have two different opinions on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
I wonder if we in the same spirit right now. Come on.
Yeah, we're in the same spirit. Okay, so first off, my first name is pronounced wrong every time.
Mm-hmm.
The way my mother pronounced it is Ashante.
Okay.
All right, but it's spelled
Ashanti.
Ashanti. Okay, but in Africa, it's Ashanti, and it's spelled ASHN. Wait, sure, I messed it up. ASHANTE. So she changed the E to an I, and she still pronounced it like an A.
Right. I get
Okay, so let me straighten that part out, right?
right.
Then you got the singer who comes out and she said hers is Ashanti, spelled the same way, but that's what it is. Now, that's why I say I have two things. Now, my middle name is Nicole, and she spelled the Nichole, and my last name is Hamilton. So what she did was she said, "Well, I'm gonna give her a black culture first name, but her middle and last name will get her a job, Nicole Hamilton,
Mm-hmm.
because my last name is white, my middle name is white, first name black." So she kind of spreaded it out a little bit like that. Same way as my sister, her name is Kisa, but she spelled it Kiessa. People call her Keisha, but it's Kisa. And in Africa, it's Kesha.
Your mama just created a whole new
Right,
language.
something like that. But her middle name is Danielle.
I
So
get it.
she'll still be able to get her a job.
I get it.
So for me, I get it because I've seen some yeah, black names, and I be sitting there like, what wait, it's too many vowels right here. Which vowel are we gonna use? The A, the U, the I, what we doing? But some people names are very creative. Some names you be sitting there like, oh, okay.
And that's why I agree with you, because if the name has historical meaning to it,
Yes.
I can understand that.
Right.
But it's the bonquishas and shit that I don't get. It's these far out names. Because
Yeah.
now people are naming they kids after cologne, anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, I'm the third.
Hmm.
So that means my dad got my name, my granddaddy got my name,
Yep.
and my son is the fourth. So for me, the name has a legacy to it. The name Russell means like a fox.
Hmm.
Now, the last two names, I don't know where they came from. I don't know. I don't know if there's some whites, if it's some Indian in there. I don't know. Spearman. I don't know if it's a nigga on a block with a spear. I don't know. Rayburn. I don't know where the fuck Rayburn came from. You know what I mean? So when I was a
Ain't
kid,
that many? I don't think there's that many black folks with the last name Raymond
then to be the third.
in the third.
You feel what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
when I was coming up, I hated my name
Right.
because I never heard my name anywhere.
Oh, okay.
I was the only Russell outside of my father and my grandfather that I knew.
Me coming up in my class, I was the only one too for a
So
long time.
you feel what I'm saying? So
For a long
and
time, and everybody got it. You turned around like, where all these kids
so it
come from?
wasn't anything, like now that I'm grown, women be like, oh, that's a nice name. That's different. But when you're
Mhm.
young and kids is around you and you're dealing with that element, I caught a lot of shit for the Russell shit. Niggas couldn't even pronounce I had grown folks that couldn't even pronounce my name. They didn't they okay, my middle name is
Is who?
Spearman. Like
Spear. Okay.
nigga that throw a spear, right?
Hmm.
But I got hit with spearmint because Wrigley spearmint gum was all the time. And it was almost to the point, like, I swear to God, at one point in my life, I was like, "Well, how do I even spell my middle name?" Because, like, I had caught so much other shit from it
Uh-huh.
that for a split second, I was like, "How do I? Wait a minute, ain't no E in my name. My name is Spearman." You know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
So I get it, but I don't get.
The other names. That's
And
out
I
there.
and this is the part that sort of that doesn't trigger me, because a lot of these young wow names that come from nothing, they come from children that are having children.
Yes, and they want to be different.
Well, you're a child. Like you haven't even fully assimilated. You haven't even really thought that you've named your child White Owl. You didn't name your child after a blunt. You ain't even, but you smoke at a young age, and that's what the fuck you gonna call you gonna call your child a name of some green or some shit. Like you know what I'm saying?
I
Because
get it.
your mind has not developed to the point to even understand the importance of a name. And
Yes,
black people don't even have that conversation of the importance of their
exactly.
names.
Because your name back in the day used to mean something.
It was a
Like,
tribal thing.
exactly. So my name is a tribe over in Ghana, Ashanti. So the thing is with that, it means thank you. You see what I'm saying? And it also means for the people. So my name is a strong name. But then I found out more guys have it now than females do.
Yeah.
That's weird, but I'm like, yeah, okay, two thumbs up, okay.
It
But
we in the days where I ain't gonna even get into
no,
that.
but they
But
spell it the way it's supposed to be spelled with the E. And it's a man, it's a tribe. It's a man tribe.
Yeah,
We as the USA
we don't even have
changed the name
an
up
inkling
to,
to what it is. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because there
But I
are some
looked
people
it
that
up
have
on
your
my
name
name.
and don't
So
even know what the fuck their name is.
right, I looked mine up and I forgot what my sister's was too. But for a long time, a lot of people didn't know what my first name was because my mom would always just call me Nikki. That was
Well,
it.
well,
And then when I went to school with people from the neighborhood and I say, and the teachers say my first name, they looking around like, who is that?
oh man. Well, check this out. This next clip is of a couple that lives together,
Oh, Lord.
and they have a disagreement. Check it out.
Look, why do you have the bat in your hand? Why do you have the bat in your hand? Why do you have? No, you're not. What are you talking about? Oh, what are you talking about? Get the bat out of your hand.
Listen.
What?
I'm tired of you cheating on me or whatever you're doing. Who are
But
you
I'm not
fucking
cheating
phone
though.
with? You're
I'm
always on your
not.
phone.
I'm just sitting right
You're
here.
not just sitting there.
I'm just
You're
trying to
not
watch the
just-
game.
You're not watching
I'm just
games.
trying to watch
Fuck
the
this
game. What are you
Fuck this
talking
game.
about? Fuck this game.
Fuck this game.
What are you serious?
Fuck this fucking
God damn! What the hell?
game. Stay off the fucking phone.
Wow. All right. Oh, you want me to go first?
I'm gonna start by saying this.
Go ahead. I have a lot to say. Go ahead.
In my lifetime, I have dated a person or two that when shit kicks off, I'm standing there like, what in the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why? Like this ain't even this. It was an argument, but now this shit is way beyond an argument, and I don't. I will never understand trying to prove your point to someone that you say that you love, right? Through violent extremes.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense to me because you say that you love me, but you show me the opposite of love. And then you say, I don't understand your love. I don't understand you. Well, you're giving me every reason not to understand you because you're not making moves of a rational person. There's a difference when it's a rational person giving a statement and a person doesn't want to accept it, right? But there's a difference when you go into spaz mode and think that you're in the right space and time and mind. That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Especially if it's not even a physical situation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start here. You have a couple. She's mad because he was on the phone. He says, I wasn't on the phone. I'm watching the fucking game. But she has a bat in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you, and I'm not trying to be an asshole or nothing. Is the man, even if he was doing wrong, supposed to say something while you have a bat in your hand?
I don't know what he was gonna say.
No, but this is what the question is. Is it if you're being confronted by someone, right? And they have a bat in your hand, in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're guilty, is that something prepping you to be like, oh yeah, fuck it, yeah, I did it? Or does it make you say, yo, calm the fuck down?
It'll make me say, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
First, yeah, you're gonna have to calm down because ain't nobody gonna listen. There's no way of getting through to you, no way. So ain't no point in me saying anything else to you. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna do what you're gonna do because now you just that mad. Cause you're gonna come in with a bat because the dude was on the phone, maybe on the phone, or your persona of him being on the phone. So I wasn't, And then again, I don't know what he might have said to make her go off the handle.
When a nigga grabs a phone and starts to record you, 9 times out of 10, that ain't the nigga that's kicking shit off.
Yeah. And he's trying to show proof so if the police do come, it ain't him. Which he should do
Does
that.
that make sense?
It does make sense. And then the thing is, this may not have been the first time he had to do it. So my question would be, why you staying with somebody that's just that crazy?
See, I don't,
That part, I don't know.
It's something about crazy love.
I don't get it. I've never been in one, so I don't have no clue.
It is. I can tell you because I have definitely.
Why you be attracting them crazy women? Let's talk about that part.
But see, no, I know that. Listen, I will not say that I do not think that there's something that I may have a toxic attraction to me. I can't say that. You understand what I'm saying? But I also know this is the craziest thing. You never know somebody is crazy until they do something crazy.
That's true.
It's a prime example. Have you ever had a friend and you went out and y'all went drinking and you recognized that night while they was drunk that they can't handle their liquor?
Mm-hmm.
And you might known this person for a while, but you've
Mm-hmm.
never seen that side of him or
Right.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happens in relationships. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, oh, let me sign up to find the craziest bitch I can find. Let me go find a nigga that's nuts. Nobody does that.
True.
Nobody fucking does that. Now, there are people that are attracted, like prime example, like we from the city, right? We know that there are certain men and women that are attracted to street shit.
Right.
They attracted to that shit, right? But in terms of some relationships, you don't know until you know. You done been out on a date. you didn't make some good love. You done woke up in the morning with this motherfucker. You done told him I love you on the way out the door. You've had a good experience with this person until crazy shows up at the door.
That's true.
Now, this is the same. Like this is the argument that I do hear from battered people in battered relationships. Because guess what? A nigga didn't just meet you and just punch you in your face.
Right. That's true.
You got emotionally attached to someone that one day ended up punching you in the face.
Yes. I get it.
And then usually after the first crazy episode, what is the thing that we always hear? You heard it in movies, you heard it in real life.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I won't do it
I'll
again.
never do that again.
Yeah.
And if you've never experienced it before, right? And you are in love, you will give the person another try.
No.
No, but listen what I'm saying. You said you've never been in that situation, right? No, listen what I'm saying. You don't know when it's going to come out.
That's true.
So sometimes it comes out rather early.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be like, all right, this ain't no shit I want to get into. But let's just say you meet a person, they got a good job, shit going well for them when you meet them, right? So they're handling life very well. But then when they lose their job and frustration kicks in on this person.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got people now that have been married to somebody that's like this. You married, got kids and all this shit. And then all of a sudden, one day, Dr. Jekyll turns into Mr. Hyde. Now, it makes sense to someone that has never been in that situation to say, get your shit and go.
Mm-hmm.
But until you are in that situation and you go through all the emotions, and you might have gotten scarred and you don't want to go outside and even let nobody see you. Most victims hide what they go through.
That's true. I've only had like a verbal, like really out there over the top, like verbally, and he tried to reach. That you missed, and guess what? It was over.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something.
And we were together for like 2 years.
I'm gonna tell you
It was
something.
just out of nowhere. I'm like,
as
no,
a black male, and I'm saying this as a black man. And the reason I say that because I think about the police and how the police view me as a black male. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm in that situation. When I was married, my wife decided one day she wanted to go completely ape shit and act stupid with me, right? Now, when she first pulled the shit, my first thought was, yo, nigga, I'll fuck you up if I put hands on you. Like real shit. Like if I deal with you like I would deal with a nigga in the street, it would be over for you, right? But I can't put hands on you because one, you my woman. Two, I'm looking at it like you just spazzing right now. But then by the time the police got there, this motherfucker told the police that I had put hands on her, right? The police sat there, looked at me, looked at my ripped shirt, looked at her clothes, and didn't look like nothing had happened to her. And they was like, but he had this nigga, the one with the scratches on his neck, his shirt ripped. And I'm telling him, like, she was attacking me. Now, this is what the law says. If you make a call to the police, male or female, and you tell the police, I want this person arrested for assaulting me, whether you did it or not, they have to take you. So that's you feel what I'm saying? So right there, my back is already against the wall. I done got into a fight. I haven't touched the motherfucker. And now the police is telling me, well, I'm what the law is. But the thing that saved me, it was this is the craziest thing. A female cop is the one that saved me. Because she said, listen, to be honest with you, I believe you. But the law is we got to take you in if she's saying she's going to press charges. She said, but because of the way you look right now and the scratches on your neck, you can press charges as well. Most niggas don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, but
you understand what I'm saying? So, but I was only told this by a female cop because she looked at the situation. So, me being in a situation where I'm like, well, fuck it. If I'm going to jail,
you going too.
Now she didn't want to press charges.
Right.
Now, the police said to me, well, since y'all had this altercation. Oh, no, I take that back. Because then she went in the house.
You done fell all the way.
Wait a minute, she ran in the house, and everybody know I smoke. And back in 98.
Yeah.
So and then it was the crazy part. She stole my shit while we was arguing. Like she knew that was gonna make me mad, right? So she took my shit. And once she recognized what that law wasn't gonna work, right? She ran in the house and said, oh yeah. And this here is too. He in here selling weed. And I wasn't even selling weed. I was just, that's my personal shit. So they had to take me in for that. Right? So I get locked up on 103rd, and it's over east. I can't remember where it's at, but it's over east.
I know what you're talking about.
Right. So they let me out at like 3:30 in the morning. Now back then, we talk about you call somebody. Well, guess what? We didn't have cell phones like that in 98.
Right, exactly. Who you calling? No.
We didn't.
Right.
And if you got locked up and you just had some clothes on and you didn't have no change, you didn't have money to call anybody on what we used to have pay phones, right?
Exactly.
Now, listen to what I'm telling you. I had to walk from 103rd all the way back to 83rd in Marquette.
83rd in Marquette.
Marquette. Now listen. On the way back, I'm having an argument with myself. Because now I'm mad that I didn't went to jail. But then I'm like, nigga, don't go back and go back to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, guess what? I was not financially secure at the time. And this is what happens in a lot of relationships, male and female. If you are not financially secure to get up and go, you go home and you play the game until you can leave.
Oh, you play the game?
What the fuck you mean? I knew that night that it was over with.
Oh, you knew her. Oh, okay. Yeah, because she put you in jail.
You understand what I'm saying? I knew that night I'm not going through this ever again in my fucking life. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? However, I knew, where the fuck am I going? Where am I going at 22 years old? Do I want to call my mama? Because I know if I call my mama, I know how she's going to react. My mama's going to come over here with a pistol. And I'm thinking about, is it worth my mama going to jail? Because my mama just being the protector that she is about her child, right?
Right.
Okay, so I knew I didn't want to call
your
her.
Homeboys? Nobody.
Gee, at 21, 22 years old, my wife was 40 years old.
What?
I mean, I keep telling y'all all the time. When I was younger, I dated older women.
That's not just older.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, that's a whole nother conversation. When I was in college, and when I recognized, listen, what I'm trying to tell you. When I recognized the difference between having a woman that was established, that had a crib, that had a job, had a car, as opposed to dealing with people that were my age, that were just figuring life out, had an apartment, but they had no furniture in the apartment. They were sitting on crates. Niggas would have parties, but no furniture. I recognized I recognized at that young age. I know I recognized this before that. You got to remember, I got married, so I had to know this type of shit. I had to be doing this type of shit before that point. So at that point, I was like, yo, when I was in college, anybody that was my age was off the table for me. Especially when I got out, like when I started living on my own and when I was 26 or somewhere around there, 26, 27, I was the only nigga that I knew that was from my era of friends that had a 4-bedroom house in Homewood that was 4 levels. And when I say 4 levels, it was 4 levels. When you first came in the house, that was one level. You could go down to you can go down to the bottom level, and then you had a basement downstairs. And when you came in the house, you could go upstairs. We had the big chandelier. We had the curved driveway. I had a tennis court on the side of my house in my 20s. So guess what? You get a taste of that in your 20s. You don't want to go dealing with nobody that works at, pay less. And you got a woman that got a job downtown. And to be honest with you, at that point in my life, my only job at that point in my life was to drop her off and pick her up. I had the car all day, go do what I wanted to do, kicked it in the streets, I did all of that.
Okay.
But this is what I did not know. This is what I did not know. At 20, I had never been through nothing. At 40, she had been through a bad marriage prior to me. She had been through, from what she told me, physical abuse in another relationship. So all this, when I'm just looking at a fine ass woman that got money and all this other good shit, I'm not seeing the pain, the hurt. I'm not seeing the arguments that I'm gonna end up going through and not understand why I'm even going through it.
How long did you stay married?
2 years.
Oh wow. What? So what I'm about to say is, in your 20s, you grew up super duper quicker than most people.
Listen,
and you've already lived so much. So yeah, a normal
anybody that watches this show
would have looked at you like, we don't have nothing in common.
Listen, my life was so complicated when I was younger, right? In my household, I lived very secluded because my people didn't let me do nothing. So I told you I lost my virginity when I was 9, right?
Right.
I lost that to what I told you was my best friend's cousin. So it was somebody that was in that circle. So I didn't really get to see the world until I got to college. Like I saw certain things. I knew about banging. I knew about, I knew about certain shit. But me being in it and having the access to it, I didn't have. When I graduated when I was 17. So when I got to college and my eyes were open, Northern.
Okay, that's right.
So when my eyes were open to the world, it was like system overload.
Yeah, I've been there.
I can do this. I can do that. Oh, I gotta. Like when I first got to college, I'm telling you, the first night, I was in my dorm room and I was hearing kids talking about going to like parties and going out, and I didn't know really what the fuck to do. I just linked up with the guy that okay. My roommate, my very first roommate, because when you go to Northern, I was in a position where I had a roommate the very first day, but my mama, because she's had was me so sort of spoiled and secluded and kept away, she said, "No, I'm getting my son a solo room." So I became friends with my old roommate's friend. So we got real tight.
Okay.
That's when I started smoking, drinking. He sort of showed me my ropes as far as but listen what I'm saying though. It was stuff that I had knew about, but I had never touched it. I never touched it. You understand what I'm saying? Like before I got to college, my only drinking was my first drink was some champagne, and that's because my uncle had got married and left it was so many bottles of champagne left. My mom had like 20 bottles, right?
Mhm.
And so when she would crack one, I would tip in it just a little bit. Nothing to really get me drunk, anything, but I was just like,
Want to know what it was?
badass nigga in the house that ain't got
Yeah.
nothing else to do. You feel what I'm saying? So
I
let me
get it.
try this. Now, when I was in high school, I had some friends. They smoked, but I didn't really.
Didn't really?
I
Or
didn't.
you
Like I was okay. Like listen what I'm saying. When you
didn't.
don't know how to smoke, the average person, I'm gonna show you right now. I
They
can
gonna cough.
now I'm gonna tell you, I can show you right now. Okay. So this is a cigarette, right?
Yeah.
When I was around them, so I wasn't inhaling the cigarette, I wasn't smoking. I was
Uh-huh.
because I didn't know how to.
Uh-huh.
And it was only a couple times that I was around them where some shit like that had to happen. Like I could have been access to weed at that point in time, but I was too naive to even know how to say, how you do this shit, because I'm young, so I gotta act like I know what the fuck going on.
I
So
get it.
at that point, I had some beer. I got to college. My first time I ever got fucked up was a Kappa Alpha Psi party.
They got you.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. I got to me and my friend, and he was a light dude too. He didn't do much. He's actually a preacher now. My friend, when we first got together, we got some daiquiris because we had some girls.
Okay.
And Boone's Farm, right?
Remember that? Yep.
So I didn't even know what it was, all that good shit. I'm just sipping a little bit. So we went to this party.
And they gave you the juice.
No, they didn't give me the juice. I ain't even find out about the juice yet.
Okay, go ahead.
It was hot as hell that day.
Yeah.
And I got out the car and my guy gave me a cup. I look at the cup, it's all white on the inside. So my naive thinking, it's water.
Mm.
And I'm so thirsty
Mm.
that I get the cup and what's that? But I didn't kill what was left in the cup. I just knocked it back.
Oh.
Now I go into this party. It's hot as fuck. I'm dancing, and my first sign that I might have been a little bit
tipsy.
Saucy. Now you gotta remember it's 93. So songs like "It's some hoes in this house, it's some
Right.
hoes in this." So I'm in there juking, and I fall. I fall on the floor. But I'm still in mode, like, oh, I'm trying to play it off in my mind. I probably look dumb as hell, but I'm trying to play it off in my mind, right? Because this is my first time even feeling like something's taking over my body here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the night I had my first one night stand. That was the night I woke up with okay. I woke up the next morning. And it was such this is such a terrible thought. Like, I'm trying to tell you, this is not the most beautiful thing in the world. I woke up the next morning. I know I'm in my dorm room because I can look at the sheets that's on the bed. And I said, okay, I'm in my dorm room. And I turn over and it's a chick there. It's just like the movies and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Was
And
she
I
cute
look,
at least?
wait a minute. And I'm like, what is this smell? I done threw up on the side of the bed. Like, I didn't even remember getting none that night, but I got it. I didn't remember it though. That was my first night getting fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first night being introduced to the world. So then you ask me, like, how did I get into the older women thing, right? I came home for a break. And I was with my cousin. This is so funny. This nigga. Anyway, I was with my cousin, and I met this girl. And at the time, I'm 17, and she was like 24, 25, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And we kicked it, and I got me some on the break. We go back to school, and Shorty would drive from the south side, well, south suburbs to DeKalb whenever I would like ask her to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I sort of got used to an older woman being able to move the way that they wanted to move, where niggas that was my age, they had to catch a bus. They had to call a friend that had a car to try to get somewhere. This was the days of what niggas was kicking it with their buddies, and then whoever could bring the girls, then everybody else trying to figure out who going. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a different lane for me because I wasn't having to call nobody. I wasn't having to be around my friends to do nothing. I had a woman that was old enough to go to the liquor store. You know, and when you get them little bitty refrigerators in college.
Yes.
So once I got my own room, I had two of them. One of them was full of liquor. So before I even got out the dorm, my life was a little bit different from my friends that I was hanging out with. But also at that same time, I was learning stuff from the niggas that I was hanging out with. I was coming out of that shell from being at the crib, meeting niggas in the streets, meeting older women. Right? So what happens by the time I'm 20, 22? Well, guess what? I don't want no 20, 22-year-old woman. Because now my mindset is, at this particular point in my life, is, oh, I could pull her. The first older woman that ever checked the shit out me, and she really didn't, but she did. We worked at a place called Jeffro Furniture on 71st and Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a guy on the truck that said he went out with her, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we found out was we was on the truck one day, and he said something. He been telling us all day that he had hit her all. You know, he went out with her this weekend and he got it. He lying on his dick, right? So we on the truck. So they on the CB. He sort of said some shit like, I'm sorry I ain't come through this weekend after been or whatever. So I ain't pay that attention to like thinking that he didn't get it at the time. I'm just thinking, you know, maybe one day they got together on Friday, maybe they're supposed to get together on Saturday and he ain't come through, right? That's what I'm thinking like that.
Uh-huh.
So one day I'm at the job and she was coming through, and she was like the only black woman that worked at the job. We were all the employees were black, but we were owned by like some Jewish people, right?
Okay.
So, but she was the only black female in the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when she came back, we used to always sort of roast her because back then, this is when what y'all call them pants that they real tight, the tight ones, like they almost like biker
Leggings?
pants, but what y'all call them?
The leggings?
Tights, whatever.
Tights. Okay.
Yeah. So this one when they used to wear like the colorful shit, the greens and all that shit, and she had a nice build on her. So when she would
Mm-hmm.
walk through, everybody in the place somewhat joked with her and flirted with her, but she had a mentality of being able to work with all these niggas and talk shit back to the niggas.
Mm-hmm.
So like she wasn't, like your average chick, to say the least. So one day she came up and I said something about getting some drinks. I said, man, when bullshit. I said, man, when we gonna kick it or something like that? And she surprisingly had said, well, you come through tonight. But because I was so young, I didn't go through that night. Me and my guys kicked it somewhere else and did something else.
Mm-hmm.
I went to work the next day. Shorty gave me a little attitude. Cause I just looked at it like I ain't come through to kick it with you. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't thinking of no freaky deaky shit.
Uh-huh.
So when she said that to me and the way she said it to me, I was like, damn, like what the fuck's that all about? So I said, listen, I promise you, I'm coming through tonight. I promise you I'm gonna come through tonight. And so when I came through her crib, I'll never forget, she drank special exports like a motherfucker. She told me to get special. Yeah, that shit I'll never forget that shit. Old ass drink. So I come through and I didn't kick it and smoke because I didn't know what her situation was at the crib. I knew she had 2 kids, right?
Uh-huh.
So I came through and we sitting up just talking. And I'm like, it felt like it seemed like she flirting with me, but I'm thinking about my guy.
Your
It
boy.
worked.
Right.
I'm like, I can't hit you because my guy didn't hit you. And I sort of said that to some degree. And she said, that nigga ain't never got with me. That nigga faked me out when he was supposed to come kick it with me. I said, what? What? You serious? What? So then she went and got a letter that the nigga wrote.
A letter.
Evidence is a motherfucker. She got because the nigga wrote her a letter saying why, like he was sorry that he ain't come through. Come to find out he had a chick at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Right.
He had his own, had a whole nother.
Yeah, but everything sort of came out later. So at that point, I'm like, well, fuck it. Like we worked together, but just my guy. Like, we just so she got to talking to me that day. I because at this time she didn't know I had dealt with older women before, but she was talking to me like I was a little kid, saying shit to me like, "Well, I'm grown enough. If I decide to be with somebody and lay with anybody, I'm gonna do what I want to do." Like she's talking to me like, and if I'm gonna fuck you, I'm gonna fuck you. And I'm like, damn, like okay, she talking crazy, not knowing.
You crazy.
Yeah, because back then I used to drink, not knowing I had just knocked out a fucking pint of Hennessy, smoked 2 blunts. I was ready, and I'm sipping these nasty ass special exports. So I just sort of bided my time until I got into the right situation, and I was like, I'm not no little motherfucking kid, and I never left her crib for like 5 years. Like, yeah,
5 years.
Nigga, I moved in the next day.
You are lying to me.
I'm not lying to you, G.
Wait a minute, Paul. Wait a minute, Paul.
We stayed on. Listen, you think I'm playing? We stayed on 71st in South Shore Drive. So if you know
No,
anything
I'm not
about,
saying that.
no, I'm about to give a backdrop to everybody that's listening to the story. If you know what 71st in South Shore Drive, it's a big high rise.
Yes.
It looks like the Jefferson Building.
Yes.
That's what we used to call it. That's what she
stayed. That's the only
stayed.
real tall one over there, ain't it?
Yeah, well, she was getting ready to move from 79th and Paxton to that spot.
Okay.
So with the mentality that I had at that time, I'm like, oh, we about to go in here and live with the Jeffersons. Like she telling me what the script is, and I'm like, I'm with it. But I was with her from that point Only reason we broke up because her family had an issue with her dating a younger nigga. Her mama hated it. Her mama and her sister.
How old was she?
Oh man, I was about 20. I was early 20s, right? She was about 36, 37. Yeah, but like the way her family looked at it was like, nigga, this nigga just came out of school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this, you know what I'm saying? They was like, you work in the office, this nigga works on the truck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, but
that's how
not
they.
like you wasn't gonna change soon. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But see, at that time, you got to also realize too. I still had a lot of. At that time, I had picked up a lot of street shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I was never disrespectful, but when you saw me, you knew I was fucked up when I walked in the door.
When you was fucked up when you walked in the door.
Yeah, shit, I was kicking it back then.
What you supposed to? You was in your 20s.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why her mama was like, girl, you got 2 kids. You just moved over here into the Jefferson building. You supposed to, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They hated that shit. So that dissolved.
So
And,
wait,
like, I didn't start
you
dating.
gotta gag up just a tad. I need this much part of the story back.
What?
When you was at the house, I'm assuming you just acted the fool with it and you moved your ass in.
Listen,
I'm assuming that's a yes.
I'm
That's
not.
a yes.
I'm not trying to be funny or toot my own horn. But
Oh,
we probably was up to probably about midnight talking and shit. This is the honest God truth. The conversation that morning was, shit, we got to go to work because it was like the time to go to work. I was up all I was off the juice. The Henny. The Henny had me going. That hit. And I had a point to prove. Like I keep telling you, like in my mind, I was thinking, like, you ain't the first older woman I dealt with. You know, like I'm like, you talking to me like I'm a kid. So in my mind, I'm like, I got a point to prove. So I was trying to kill something.
so what happened when your boy with the dude at the
Oh
job?
no, he only worked there for a little while and then he was gone. Like,
I mean, but when y'all got on the got
like
there,
there was nothing he could do because he had lied.
but I mean, when he found out, what did he say to you?
He didn't say nothing. He couldn't say nothing to me. He tried to say something back to her, but it was over with by then.
You said it was over.
It was over with by then.
Moved in the next day. Oh my God.
I never look, because at that point in time, to be honest with you, my life was so unstable at that time that I probably would have never said this before this show. I was bouncing around anyway. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when that conversation came up, because to be honest with you, I had just come out of the divorce. Now I told you, what did I tell you when I was in the divorce?
Wait a minute. So this was after the divorce? I thought it was before.
No, this after the divorce. Yeah,
okay.
After the divorce. So if you remember what I said when the police situation, I was like, shit, I gotta go back here and deal with some shit until I can. So by that time though, I had left the crib, but I had no real solid place to go.
I got you.
Now, this is the thing. Now, I don't want nobody thinking like I wasn't rocking with Shorty. I was just trying to peel off of it. No, because I really did fuck with Shorty. Because I looked at it like, yo, this is a win-win for me. I got a beautiful woman. Good, at the time I'm thinking what we was doing was a great job. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, she moving over here, a young 23, 24-year-old mindset. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I was like, I'm here. We didn't have, the only problem we had was her family. We didn't get into no fights or nothing like that. None of that. When I moved out, she stayed on 71st and South Shore. I moved into the building on 73rd and South Shore, 73, I think 7359, right?
Uh-huh.
She would come down to the crib. So Because I never forget one day she got a couple drinks in her, and I had moved on to another. No, I didn't even move on to another situation. I ended up getting with her after that. But she came down to the crib. Everybody know I do music, and it was another older lady that was. She found that she heard one of my songs because we had performed it one day, but she thought the song was in the store. She thought so. She was asking people who wrote the song, and they said, "Oh, Russ wrote that song." So she was like, "Yo, I want to help you get your stuff out here." So when the day that my ex came through, I was having a conversation about the music, but she came in like, "Oh, so you got a bitch over here, huh?" So that made Shorty be like, and because like they was on two different calibers too. Because like I thought I was doing good down there on 71st. This chick had money. This was the first real money chick that I ever dealt with, like real money. You understand what I'm saying? So that was a different conversation. So when I guess she felt like, oh, you think something going on? Well, now I'm about to
make something go on. Right, exactly.
And that's how I end up getting with her. I'm trying to tell you, like when I was in my young days, my shit was wild. It was interesting, but it was like it's an experience I wouldn't take back, but at the same time, it was an experience that I lived life too fast.
You did.
And it fucked me up because all the pain that they had been through, they was just dropping that shit off on me. And I'm sitting there like, why are you so upset? I didn't understand brokenness from a past relationship. It was new territory to me. So when I'm experiencing it, I'm like, bitch, what's wrong with you? Not knowing that she got real trauma. And that's the thing, like people our age now, we don't recognize how fucking traumatic our lives are because we don't even think like that. We just say, oh, I was in a bad relationship and I moved on. No, you're not. You was in a bad relationship, you fucked up, and you don't know how to deal with the next nigga. So when you get with that nigga, it can start off perfectly and then it's gonna go bad. And now it's gonna be a blaming game about who fucked up who.
Yeah.
That's the reality. Yeah, but that was the Russell moment for today. I didn't even mean to go tell this story tonight. But that's
I mean,
how
but it was interesting because I didn't know that much about you like that. But it's just so weird that in your 20s, you didn't take time out to be in your 20s.
No, I didn't.
You
I
took
didn't
time.
listen.
You skipped from teenager to 35, kind of. Like I
In a
want to
way
be
I did.
settled down. I'm
In a
ready to
way
have
I did, but I
kids.
didn't. In a way I did, but I didn't. Like, okay, listen. In the relationship realm, I shot up.
Yeah.
But in the street realm, I was right at the age I was. You understand what I'm saying?
A little.
Like when I went outside my house, I didn't take my house outside with me.
Right.
When I went to fuck with niggas on the block, I didn't take my house outside with me. When I did dirty shit on the streets, I didn't take my house outside with me. What I did though, most people that were in that age group, they don't have nothing else to do after a certain time. Where my stuff was different. Okay, I'll give you what my day was like at like 22. I would get up at about 6 in the morning. Why was I getting up at 6 in the morning? Because she had to be at work at 7 downtown. So I didn't get up when she got up, but I got up when she was ready to go. Took her to work, came back home. I play with the dog, smoke a blunt, make some music, lay the fuck down. Then I get up about 10, 11, go to the block, hang out. Then around 3, I'd be like, yo, I gotta go. Because I gotta go pick her up from work. Pick her up from work, come home. I'll be back in a minute. So I go back outside, come back in about 7, do it all over again. Now, when the relationship got bad and we start arguing and beefing and shit, then guess what? When I went out at 7, I instead of coming in at 7, I come in at 9 because I didn't want to hear it.
Right.
See, that's what men do. When we don't want to hear shit, we just
stay out.
I'm gone. Well, women like, yo, I'm gonna let you hear this shit. This is what I'm thinking, and not even thinking about what they saying, but they just blah blah blah. Men be like, I don't want to hear this, especially at a young age because we don't know how to deal with that shit. Now, this is the craziest part because now I'm feeling like I got a woman, but she's acting like my mama. Then when I got older, it was like, okay, let me date around my age. But then I'm starting to recognize the difference in the generational gaps. The way that this one act, this generation don't act like that. And the generation after them definitely don't act like that. So it's like, yeah. Well, any other questions that you'd like to get into before I let the world know the rest?
All
right, let's watch this clip right quick and see what y'all think about this.
There's a stat on Facebook, and basically it says men are not obsessed with women like they used to be. Y'all don't find that kind of weird? And to be honest, no, I don't find that kind of weird, because what exactly is there for men to be obsessed with in today's world? Women have left no room for imagination, none whatsoever. It's like y'all sense of entitlement is out of control. Y'all expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing y'all bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living a lifestyle to post on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will fuck that. But men are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is, oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all are here to give them free pussy, free looks, and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact. Men love women that are exclusive, women that are put up, women that every man can't say he had or can have. Simple as that.
Your thoughts, young lady?
Mostly what she said is about all right.
Did you disagree with anything?
Well, some of the okay,
because she really was just.
Well, I mean, like the part where she said that men only want like the women who are just like I guess maybe out of reach or a little bit more exclusive or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I do. Listen.
That part I don't know.
Listen. Okay.
I mean, I really don't know about
that. Take it from the horse's mouth. Take it from the horse's mouth.
Oh.
When a man is I'm talking about a man when he's looking at a relationship. I ain't talking about a nigga that's trying to fuck. Let's make that clarity. Got to make that very clear. Okay. When a man wants to be in a relationship with you, he will be focused on you. The second that man sees other niggas around, the second that man feels like you might be a little bit opening yourself up to other people, that man will give you a different reaction than the woman that he likes originally, and she's the one. Like, she ain't opening herself up to everybody. He ain't prime example. When he go to her Facebook, he don't see 100 niggas on her page because she done posted something that's so sexy and provocative that it brought that type of attention to her. And then when you, not only that, then you got some women that say, well, I don't say nothing, but okay, I get you. There are some women that post stuff and don't say nothing to nobody. But then you got your woman that posts shit and she's responding to every nigga that's on the post. And every post that the nigga is saying is thirsty as fuck. So if I'm looking at that, where do I fit in?
But I don't know. I guess I look at it like this. Okay, so you know me, and
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So just like I was out with like frat brothers or whatever, but if
Mm-hmm.
I post and all of that, why would you think I'm messing with all of them? Just
No. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about. I'm out with my frat brothers and stuff.
I mean, even if I'm
Whoa,
out and
whoa,
about
whoa.
and I
No,
take
no,
pictures of people,
no. I'm talking about
what?
the ass shots.
Oh, I don't do those.
See, you understand what I'm saying? If I open up a Facebook right now and just went through the scroll, I've done it on the show before, and just showed y'all what is on my page. The average man is going to like what he sees.
But let me ask you this then. What is it when I may be a little bit off for this just because it's you know it's been brought I don't know. Some dudes are just so insecure. But what if okay, just say how I'm gonna ask the question. What if okay, you have pictures or whatever, and you're just a social person. I'm very sociable,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I have a lot of friends.
Your
So some of those
friends.
friends, but some of
Mm-hmm.
the friends, are guys, some of them are girls, and we all take pictures.
Uh-huh.
But how can a guy who say that they may be interested in me go off of my page and just assume that I'm messing around with anybody or
Well,
open it up?
that's a different conversation. That's a different conversation.
But
That's,
isn't it the same thing she was saying in the video?
no. It's a different conversation. It's a
Okay,
different conversation. That's no different from a man that has a social life and he goes out and he takes pictures with a lot of people. That don't mean he fucking them people. He's
right.
not. There's a difference when you see a nigga over sexualized in his pictures with women. That's a different.
Okay, I got what you're
That's a
saying.
different category.
Okay, so she was basically stated in that video, women who are those I call them the IG chicks. That's what I call them. The ones that gotta always shake their ass. The ass is always out or something like
Or they're
that.
too open with men.
Too open with me. Okay.
See, it's a difference when, hey, Russ, I just met you, right? I'd like to introduce you to the people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a different conversation of I ain't telling folks who you are, but I expect you to act a certain way. Well, but why you not giving me access to who you around? Especially if you cool with a bunch of niggas and shit.
Right.
You want to make me feel comfortable about that.
Exactly. She should.
Like, prime example. I do the streaming shit, right?
Right.
I go to church, right?
Yes.
These are places that you will not be with me if I'm just hitting you.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Now, it's a difference when I say, hey, let's go to this party. Going to that party, even though it's a party at the other spot, the other one is more of an event. Let's go out. I want to introduce you to people because there'll be people there that I know. It's the difference between just going to a party to kick it and let me take this chick to I'm taking this date out as opposed to my woman or the
Yeah.
person that I'm having a relationship with. See, I say it all the time. Men don't say shit all the time, but we look at little things and we look how we fit into that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can come fuck me, but you don't talk about me, or I see Let me take that off the bat. If you fucking with me and I see you fucking with a lot of other people, that's a and when I say fucking with, I mean like they got access to you that they shouldn't have access to.
Mhm.
And that makes a person a little it makes a man a little weary.
Mhm.
It does. It does. Like with me, I tell this to people all the time. If you date with me, if you talking to me, you got to deal with the fact that I do this.
Mhm.
Because what we talk about on this show could be anything.
True.
It could be something extremely sexual. It could be about niggas going to jail. It could be anything. So with that, our audience, people gonna listen for different reasons. At some point, some niggas gonna watch this show and they're gonna watch this show because they're interested in Nikki. They're not interested in the show. And they might fuck around and watch the show for 6 weeks and then shoot they shot. And if you don't respond to them, then they'll stop watching the show. Right?
That would be funny, but yeah.
I'm telling you, I do it all. Listen, I had this show for a few years. So I know the people that listen because they really supporting as opposed to the people that listen because they trying to holler,
Okay.
because they trying to be seen or trying to see how I'm going to react to them in front of other people.
Mm.
This has nothing to do with that. This show has nothing to do. Like, this is what people don't get. Even though this is my show does not reflect what my personal life is.
Can we say it again for the people in the back? Can we say it again for the people in the back?
So this is my show, but this does not reflect my life.
That's the
So,
same way I feel about my social media, but people,
but you understand what I'm saying?
yes.
So this is something that you know this because before each show, we don't just come on at 7 o'clock, right? We get on at 6:30, and before that, we have conversations like, "You got any clips? What's
Right.
going on?" So there are certain things that come into this show that a person that doesn't watch the show would never have a clue about how it runs.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? They don't understand. Like, if you pay attention to the different dynamic of this show and the show that's on Tuesday nights, there's a different dynamic.
Yeah, it is.
On Tuesday, we'll be talking about anything and anybody get to arguing at any time. Now, guess what? Me and you may not agree on this particular show about a particular topic, but it's just me and you.
Mhm.
It's not 5, 6 other people online, and I'm trying to balance the conversation between everybody. You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to me and you just shooting shit right now and going to where we going. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying? So for a woman to deal with me, they would have to understand that. Hey, babe, I got a show.
Right.
Please don't come into the show trying to show who you are to me
Right. In the show.
in the show. Because that is not what the show is designed for. I didn't create the show for people to look at the show and say, "Oh, Russ Woman is that." Because if that was the case, Russ Woman would be on this show. Russ don't want his woman on the show. I've thought about it,
Mhm.
but I think about things the way I think about my church. I'm not inviting you to my church because guess what? If things go wrong between me and you, I don't want folks in the church looking at you and recognizing that you're looking at me because you got attitude this week. Or they looking at me because they could tell that something's off with me.
Mhm.
And now they can look at you and tell, oh, look at, oh, you can tell that they ain't vibing this week. So that's and even though I want a woman to go to church with me,
Mhm.
but I want to know that you the right one.
Mhm.
Ain't nothing worse than if I bring you into my circle and bring you into my private realm of my personal life, and then you fuck that up for me.
Yeah. I get it.
See, because you can get up and walk away from my situation. I can't.
Right. You still got to stay and deal with everything.
If me and you get into an argument on this show right now and you leave and say I'm never coming back, I still got a show to do. So I got to find somebody else. So that goes through a whole fucking process of how do they talk? Can they carry a conversation? Are they ignorant? Are they, are they...
True.
Even with picking people for the other show where we bump heads, I got to pick somebody that I can bump heads with, but we can still be respectful with each other.
Right.
As opposed to picking somebody that can just be butt heads with me. And now you mad at the end of the fucking show. Because I argue with you. You done seen it. I argue with the entire fucking cast, and then at the end of the show, once I cut off the stream, I'd be like, all right, y'all, I see y'all next week. Because it's over with.
Right.
Everybody can't deal with that.
That's
the
true.
Same as in a relationship. Can I deal with being just another part of your life, or am I coming in to be a part? Are we building a part of our lives and about to go somewhere? Then we got the people that put blame on you, but don't look at the shit that they do. There's nothing worse than fucking around, calling oh, you do this, you a drink, and you smoke, and then you go around the corner and you light up a fucking square and you with your guys and shit and you drinking and shit. But no, nigga, you just told your girl she wasn't shit because she had a drink. You did better coming out saying, I don't like women that drink when I met you.
Mm-hmm.
So she could have said, well, guess what? So long, buddy.
Exactly. But
you look good, but I gotta go.
They don't come out right away because some guys,
people,
they won't. Well, people don't say what they like or don't like right off the back, I guess.
Or they have expectations for you that they don't hold themselves to.
That could be it too.
Oh, that's with a lot of people. A lot of people will hold you to a certain standard, will beat you over the head with something, and do damn near the same fucking shit that they complaining at you about. I'm so serious. Don't complain at me for coming in at 10:30, right? And then when you go out, you coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not supposed to say nothing to you.
That's true.
Don't get mad at me for taking the car and going somewhere and not explaining what I did with the money, and you do the same fucking thing. And you spend more than I spend. That's hypocritical. And then this is the thing about people that are hypocritical, because you can accuse somebody of something or say something and be right. But then when you do the exact same thing, you take away the fact, you take that person that you've been complaining about, and you didn't make that motherfucker say, well, what, fuck this shit. What am I doing this for and you doing that? You gonna call me on it, but then you gonna do it. Aren't you just as bad as me? Can you accept the responsibility for the things that you do, as opposed to always putting blame on me for the shit that I do? Because what I'm learning is people that have little dirt in their closet, they are always extra like, what are you doing? What's going on with you? And then when you find out they dirt, they be like, well, that's not, they try to downplay it. You can't downplay your dirt. You got to eat your shit the same way you was throwing dirt down my fucking throat. You got to swallow that same fucking dirt.
True.
It's a difference if you live in your life by a different level and a different standard, and you have an example that you can say, I've been living by this example. You haven't. When we both doing the same shit, don't fuck around and beat a nigga over the head and you doing the same shit.
That's
I
true.
don't know. Check out this clip.
This camera.
Why you got the door locked?
Listen, I was.
Why you got me locked? I pay all these bills around here. What you got going on here?
Just stay out here, please.
What my homeboy doing here? What's going on? What you adjusting y'all? What you?
No. Please.
You playing with me?
No.
You playing with me?
Please, just calm down.
You my home?
Jason,
Oh,
please,
no.
please.
Don't you, Jason? No. You can get out, and you can get.
I'm not getting out of my own.
Your house. I pay the bills around here. And you playing game on me?
I'm not.
You playing game on me?
You're making me nervous.
No, don't, Jason.
Jason.
You can stop talking right there.
Jason, please.
You can stop talking right there.
Look, at the end of the day,
You my boy. You my boy, and you did me like this?
bro, I came here to grab my stuff.
Jason.
Why you adjusting your clothes? Why you putting your clothes on, man? What you putting your clothes on for?
You're making me nervous. I want you
Making
to
me
calm
nervous?
down. Calm down.
You run the game on me.
Please calm down and just let us explain.
My boy.
You don't trust your girl, bro?
I don't trust none of y'all. You my boy. We've been in.
So you
know how much y'all been together, and you gonna do me like that,
Jason?
bro? You ain't got nothing to say right now. That's gonna fix anything. I'm done with you, and I'm done with you.
Man, we go back like 4 flats in the
So why you doing me like that, my boy? I've known you since high school. This my girl, and you gonna do me like that? You gonna do me like that? This my boy.
Baby, listen, we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything.
I can't believe right now. I can't believe this right now.
We didn't do anything.
Do anything? Then what here then?
This is what I'm saying.
My house. You come to my house unannounced. What you doing up here with my girl?
I came here. Remember, we just playing the game.
And you fixing your clothes. And you fixing your clothes out, bro. Clothes out, bro. The bathroom all over there. What you mean?
Ask your wife, can I use the bathroom, bro?
You a piece, and you a piece of. Then what here then? What you come up here for without me?
I told you I forgot something, bro.
What you forget?
Here playing the game.
What you forget? What you forget? Tell me. Exactly. You're a piece of.
Jason, I want you to just calm down. Let's all talk.
Calm down,
Yes,
boy.
Whoa.
And you lying in my face about it.
Brian, did we do anything? Can you please tell Jason to just relax?
So you don't trust your girl? You don't
trust
trust me more?
Your word means nothing.
You knew me before.
Your word means nothing.
Let's just tell him the truth.
What was the truth?
They fucking.
So what was he lived to regret? I'm confused. I thought he was about to shoot him.
Listen.
I thought he was about to shoot him, actually.
Listen.
When you say live to regret.
Let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me refresh. I'm about to refresh this because hold on. I'm gonna come right back. Hold on. You just talk to the folks for one quick second. I'll be right back.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Hey Kimberly, if you still on here. Hey Yolanda, if you still on here. Stephanie and Tammy. I'm not sure if you all are here because I can't tell the difference.
Big Daddy back.
He back. But wait. Okay, so I knew they were doing something because dude came out all confused and discombobulated in his thought process. And he didn't have a good line to say, well, he came back to the. Don't say you coming back to the house to get something if you don't remember what you need to lie about you get in the house for. That's one. And that's why women always say men don't know how to lie. Because there's no way a female would have came over to a guy crib and the woman be like, you over here with my man, and you say, oh, well, I left something over here in the house.
Baby.
You gonna say,
that don't make no sense. Listen, I'm about to debunk what you're saying. Because this nigga came to the house, to his woman's house, and this woman was telling a dumbass lie.
Well, she started the lie. Stupid.
So if you can't say, or only a nigga would say, no, because her dumbass was saying.
I think she got caught off guard. And instead of her saying, oh, he just came up here to grab something.
Refresh your page. Refresh your page. I think you need to refresh your page because you like a little choppy right now. Refresh your page.
Refresh mine.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna talk to the guests, right? Yeah. Just refresh. Like, okay, let me tell you something.
He may kick me out, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, come on right back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Refresh the host, come in and come back. Refresh and come back, like I just did. Um, let me say something. There she go. There she go. Okay, there we go. There you go. You're looking sexy again. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, let me just break this down. When you have somebody that knows two people, one is a friend and one is a romantic entanglement, because that's what this is. This is the perfect definition of an entanglement, right? So if you have said person being good to two other said people, and those two other said people are doing the good guy wrong, I would say that young man dealt with that rather smoothly.
He did.
Because I don't.
He did though. He was more calmer than most. But I was wondering, like, when she bust, I said, let's just tell him the truth. I wonder how he acted right after that. Because right then they were denying. He was getting mad, but they kept denying. So part of him was probably like, I don't believe y'all, but maybe they tell me the truth, because he didn't get that angry. But when she probably said, okay, now let's tell the truth.
No man wants to believe
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
that his woman is smashing. Like this is what I'm about to tell you. A man will can accept the fact that his woman is smashing, right? He might not be happy about that. He can't. But when it comes down to his friends,
And they know how trifling their friends are too.
oh man,
and he didn't probably told her he ain't no good, or my homeboy this and my homeboy that. He gonna try this, he gonna try that. So, this, then the third. And she probably like, oh well, I ain't worried about all that. Da, 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 da. And she falls into it. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right? Because I mean,
I'm listening.
I mean, like, I have never been like in that situation, but he was calm. His homeboy bogus. His girl was bogus. And then I'm assuming he has a routine. The reason why he was there. Homeboy changed his routine because I tell men all the time, you all got intuition just as much as women do. We tap in it more than most men, but men have it too. So for him to maybe double back home or come home early, or it was a fluke or whatever the case may be, he might consider was a fluke. No, that was something telling you need to go home. You need to go back to your house or make a phone call or do something. Because usually, if a guy catch the woman involved in anything, that's because I believe wholeheartedly that's when God is tapping y'all on the shoulder, telling you need to go home. And then when you ignore it, the guy be like, I've been trying to tell this man to go home.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, it's a different conversation. I'm speaking from from what I would consider to be a male aspect about it,
Go ahead.
because male pride is a motherfucker,
It is
especially if you're dealing with a prideful male.
true. And you
Now,
don't know if you're dealing with a prideful man right off
no,
the
no, no. You know if you're dealing with a prideful male, because prideful people carry themselves pridefully in other situations. You understand what I'm saying? Like you'll never get a motherfucker that feels strong about something and don't never say nothing about it.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Conviction. That's where the word conviction comes from, because you could be convicted to say something. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, when it comes down to things like that, it's such and I'm just thinking from the male in the position that is facing that situation, right? Where does that person begin to trust
Again,
either one of you?
he's
On
not.
top of the next person that he gotta come in contact with. Because that's a different conversation. Most people in life have been cheated on at some point in their life.
Right.
So that's not the thing that's the wow thing. The wow thing is like, yo, that's his
My
guy.
boy. Right.
That's his, like, would you
I've
be
heard
upset? Would you be upset if you found out your man was sleeping with one of your girl? Now I
one of
ain't talking
my
about like
dogs, one of my
somebody that you rock with, somebody that,
man, look, there's a lot going on in that situation for real. Because I mean, for me, if that was to happen to me, one, I can't trust. I wouldn't be able to trust neither one. We ain't got no friendship no more. It is. Oh, it died with this fool you over here with. Everybody dead. That's it. Because I'm not gonna. I wouldn't be able to trust her with nobody else. I would not be able to trust her with anything I have to say, any new guy, or anything. You couldn't even be. Oh, matter of
so
fact,
you
you
you'd
wouldn't
have
even
a
be able to
problem
be
with
in
them,
my house.
like you'd have a problem with introducing that person to anybody else that you know.
Yes.
And then I guess another question would be like, how many people do they know that I know that I've introduced them to, and how many situations like this could have possibly come up? Like it makes the mind
Like
go
if he did it
insane.
this time, if he did it with this one, how many other ones he did it with and I never caught?
Yeah. So what do you think the response should be to the nigga? To the nigga that his boy. What do you think his response should be?
If I'm talking for the guy who's in the situation,
The one that's finding out that you looking at the
he
woman.
he needs to be. Matter of fact, I would have dropped the phone and clocked his ass. That's just me. That's just me. It should have been some type of fight broke out. It should have been something. And I understood that he was trying to get it on video or whatever the case may be. Maybe he had already an inkling about it or may have found out about it before, the reason why he wanted it on video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It don't seem like he was that shocked of the matter. So
No,
maybe
he was shocked because
I mean he was shocked, but not to a point to put that phone
no,
down.
no, no. I gotta okay. Let me explain this because
Because he should have.
I saw a longer clip of this, right?
Okay.
So the clip starts off with my man was coming home from work, and when he put like his key in the door, it didn't fucking work. So he's walking around the house and he was knocking on the windows, and then he came back to the front. I see you in there, like. Then she opened the door. So the clip that we saw was when
She didn't change the locks.
yeah, it was a lock, or if it was a lock on there that he didn't have the key to, or something like.
But that's his house, he said in the video.
Hey, I'm telling you what I saw. I wouldn't lie to you. Like
I know you wouldn't, but that's crazy.
he came to the crib and could not
I'm
get in the
still
crib.
surprised they didn't fight.
Because it could have been a situation like it was a lock that they never locked that they ain't got no key to.
Right, I get that. But I
Because you
still
got
don't
you
see
got
why
your
they
doors
didn't
that got the regular lock down here, and then you got the deadbolt shit. And it might be like a deadbolt in there that they just got in there. You know what I mean? They came with the crib, they ain't got the key, but they locked the bottom lock, and he came home, turned, and couldn't get in this fucking crib. That could have been a situation.
It could have been. So Russ, you gonna tell me you ain't gonna fight nobody? What you just gonna be like, yo, bro, this ain't good. How can you do this to me? And blah blah blah. You gonna sit
Ain't
here
no
and
hey,
tell me
see, that's the thing for me.
you gonna sit here and tell
That's the thing
me
for me.
that you're not gonna fight?
That's the thing for me. because that is such a
I
hard
mean, I'm
time.
not violent.
Listen what
But
I'm
in
saying.
that situation, I
Listen what
might
I'm
be
saying.
a little.
Listen what I'm saying. That
Right.
becomes a hard situation for
That's
me.
when I need the bat.
That becomes a hard situation for me. Because to be honest with you, it would probably be a split decision. Like it might be like I want to kill this motherfucker right now. It might be like literally kill him. Like I might see just straight blood, right?
Huh?
Then the other side of me thinks about what will you lose?
I get that, but you
No,
gonna.
but I'm saying like no, I'm telling you like in the I've been in situations before
Mm-hmm.
where I've had to like I've been livid and I've had to think. I listen, I'll tell you a prime example. I got into a situation one night, and this woman, no woman, and it was just some nigga shit, right? And it was a Saturday. And you know what my thought was? I want to fuck this nigga up. Then my other thought was, man, if you get locked up tonight, it's Saturday.
You ain't getting out to Monday.
I'm gonna miss what I do on Sunday. I'm gonna miss that. I'm talking about the money side. I'm gonna miss that money. Then I said, Monday, I might get out after it's time for me to be at work and I might lose my job. And my crib costs this much. You understand what I'm saying? And I went through that thought process in seconds.
Yeah.
And so even though something was like, I want to punch him, I thought about everything that I could lose. And I thought about, like, you hear me talking about where I used to be and the decisions that I used to make because I didn't have anything. Right?
Right.
Well, imagine getting to the point where you got something and you can think about losing everything that you worked to get.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
something's going to happen.
That's where a conflict comes up. And
Mhm.
and guess what? It also depends on the reaction of the people involved. Because if it's a nigga that's saying like, oh man, and he's sort of whimpering out, you might just become all kind of bitches and disrespectful shit.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
understand what
it's
I'm saying?
like from the video, he wasn't getting aggressive.
But what I'm saying is, I'm just thinking about me in that situation.
Mhm.
If it's a nigga that got a little, yeah, I fucked her. That's where that struggle of what I'm having, it's going to depend on how the pendulum is leaning at that moment.
Mhm.
It depends on if I've had something to drink. It depends on, you understand what I'm saying? So that's a I don't know. Because guess what? People kill people every day and they never thought about killing a motherfucker in their life.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? And then we got people that walk away from shit and we be like, how you do that? How Martin Luther King take bottles to the head? How you get spit on?
Right.
And then punch a motherfucker back, knowing he was gonna get spit on. So
Right.
you understand what I'm saying? Even though
Mhm.
I'm on one side, I agree 100%. Then on the other side, I agree 100%. So guess what? In the middle, I'm 50.
Right. I
So
mean, I understand it because I
if
mean, I'm not a violent person, but I don't know. In that particular situation, might bring out that little bit of maybe that anger control that I may
that's
not be
what I'm
able
trying
to
to tell you.
hold because
And that's what when I
you
think about where I've come from.
and the thing is, I don't even know if I'll be as mad at the dude I'm messing with or more with the best friend because the best friend knew better. The person I'm messing with, okay, but I've been rocking with you my whole life. Like dude said, we've been together since so and so, such and such. At the end
Listen,
of the day, then you should know then you
Listen,
shouldn't have did
I'm,
that
I'm
to
gonna
me.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you why it's
I'm
gonna hit.
more hurt by my friend
I'm gonna tell you why it's
than
gonna
I
hit.
am by the person I was sleeping
I'm gonna
with.
tell you why it's gonna hit different than it's gonna hit with your partner, right?
Yes.
Listen to what I'm about to say. You'll have conversations with your partner that you won't even have with the person you're in a relationship. You'll vent about things that you'll never say over here.
Exactly.
And for that motherfucker to go do it. That's now it's like, oh, you took the gloves off. Now we gotta. I hope you are good at bare knuckle boxing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It will hurt me more because it's my homegirl.
Then again,
Than the dude.
but then again, you got to look at it from the opposite side, right? How invested are you into the other person? How much have you been through with this other person? Like this is the thing. Your friend you cool with, but you ain't fucking your friend.
Right.
Your friend ain't sucking you off and licking and you understand what I'm saying? Like that.
Mhm.
So then again, that's why I said it's that I'm torn. Do I punch? Who do I punch? Or do I punch everybody?
Right.
Because that's the other option. Fuck it, go crazy on everybody. But then you still got the fun. You still got to factor in after I snap. What are the results of my snap? Was my snap only good for me for the moment? And I'm still walking away from this motherfucker thinking about the situation? Because that happens a lot. I didn't get into some fights, and after the fight, and I won the fight, I was still ready for war.
Yeah. I can
And
see that.
so guess what? If I lost the fight, what was I thinking? Some people lose a fight and they just, that's it. I don't want to take no more. I quit. They cower right out. They cower right out. Other people get into a fight and they fight for a different reason. I've always said this. I'm 5'7", 100, probably 160 on a good day, right? Right?
Okay.
I logically don't walk around thinking I'm a tough guy and I want to fight. I don't. Even when I gangbang, that wasn't my mentality, right?
Mhm.
However, if I do have to fight, my intention of the fight is to inflict something to this other person that even if they walk away from the fight, they have something permanently to remind them of me. Whether it be a bite mark and I've bitten a chunk out of you. Like you laughing, but I'm serious.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
Because guess what? I've always been, listen, I learned this in high school. It was a kid named, I ain't gonna say his name because if he ever watched this show, I don't want to feel bad because I met him late in life and he really had a bad life. And things didn't go well for him. But when I was in high school, I was on the football team. And it was a guy on the football team that he didn't care about shit. He made the team run more laps because he wasn't doing shit. He had a nickname on the team. Okay, his nickname was Slow Mo because he always did things in slow motion.
Mhm.
The coach say, run around here and do a lap because you didn't do this right or you came in here late or whatever. He would take so long running that lap that the whole team would have to run 5 laps. And the coach would tell him, yeah, your team's going to be pissed off at you because as a team, you're making them fuck up. Okay. So one day in gym, because all of the people on the football team had gym together.
Mm-hmm.
So one day they had planned to jump slow-mo. I had nothing to do with it. Matter of fact, when I walked into the fucking locker room, the lights went out. I heard the lights came back on, and slow-mo was probably about 6 feet from me. And because I was the smallest nigga in the room, slow-mo said, I'm gonna fuck with him. He had no idea. My mama told me before I ever left the house on any situation, if you get your ass beat, you're getting your ass beat again when you come home. So
Yeah, I think that's everybody.
that was every fight I got into in school. That was my very first thought. I was more fearful of my mama than I was of the kid I was fighting, because I thought about my mama being an adult, and I thought about how she whipped my ass before, and I didn't want that. So when the lights came on, slow-mo grabbed me, and he had my head. So I can't even. Okay, imagine you in front of me, and then I pull you down, and your head's in my arm. So I've always wore glasses. You're gonna listen to this story and gonna be like, nigga, you lying. And I promise to God on my dead brother, man, I ain't lying. So only thing I remember was taking my glasses off and waving them out like this, saying, somebody take my glasses, somebody take my glasses. Because I'm thinking about my mama. I'm thinking about these glasses get broke. I'm fucked up. Somebody got the glasses. And I don't remember anything else from that moment. Now, what I do know is that people was like, gee, you fucking had dude in the corner. And it was just a bad situation for dude. You understand what I'm saying? My baby mama, my youngest son's mother. Okay, when I first met her, she had broke up with her baby daddy. And she this is the honest to God truth. She used to work at the bank. So I went to the bank, I had a concert, and I invited everybody at the bank. I'm promoting, right? So I came in the following week, and I said, man, y'all missed the concert. It was dope. Who hopped the band? I leave and show how old this was. This phones you had to pick up. Talk. My son is 18 now. So this 19 years ago, 20 years ago. So it got to be 20 years ago, because I got to think about the time we was together before that. So this is the line that, well, when she first called, she hung the phone up. But back then we could *6, whatever it was, and dial the number right the fuck back.
Right.
So I called the number back and I said, yo, who was this? I'm ready to go in and cut some shit out, She said, hey, this is Mika from the bank. And I'm sorry. When I thought about, because at the same time that she told me this shit, Alicia Keys had just dropped the You Don't Know My Name song. And if you're familiar with You Don't Know My Name, it's a part in the song where Alicia walks up and says, hey, my name is Woo Wop the Band, da 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 da. So the phone call damn near went just like that. So I always laughed when I heard the Alicia Keys song, because I used to say that's our song, because goddamn it, that's how you came at me. You said like, yo, I missed this here. So we went out, hung out. I think I don't know when we start kicking it, like hitting it and stuff, right? But I do remember it was Valentine's Day. So she invited me over for dinner. I came over for dinner, and we sitting up talking. We had a wonderful date, because that's what it was. It was a date. You know what I'm saying? So we sitting on the couch. At the end of the date, we hear a knock on the door. So she gets up, and I could tell by her body language, she's looking out the door like, So I'm trying to read the room. I'm like, oh, you got a nigga over here? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. So she opens the door, and it's her baby daddy. And he had flowers for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Now, the thing is, she had told me about him prior to me meeting him. And I'm going to tell you why this made sense. So, at first, he came in the room like, who was dude? He act like he didn't know who the fuck I was at all, right? She said, man, I told you who he was, Blase Skippy. I ain't said a word. I'm sitting on the couch watching because I'm trying to find out
who knows what, right?
What's going on.
Exactly.
So, well, I said, okay, it's time to flip the switch. Then he said, you told me that you was talking to and what and then he mentioned my name. I'm like, well, Nick, how you mentioning my name if you just said the opposite of what you understand what I'm saying? So now you have to understand that I was rather cocky in my younger days, right?
Rather than or now?
Yeah, I'm about to tell you. This is one of the cockiest lines I ever told a nigga. So we having the conversation. I said, well, look, G, we could settle this right now. I said, you're here, I'm here, she's here. We could just ask her right now who the fuck she want to be with. And I said, nigga, if she choose you, listen to this cold shit. I said, if she choose you, nigga, I'm just gonna get up and give her a kiss on the cheek and walk out the door. That's what I said. So I looked at her. I said, what's going on? He's sitting there looking like he heated. Now, you got to understand, he was a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he got to arguing with her. And I'm like, well, gee, she made a decision. I'm like, you got to leave. I'm like, you're not going to fuck up the rest. Now I'm being cocky. You're not going to fuck up the rest of our great Valentine's Day. You know, I said, those are not, you know. So when he's leaving out the door, he got mad and threw the flowers back at the crib. And I said, oh, I was such an asshole. I would say shit like, oh, baby, I look at what our little nigga did. He made us, you know, like I would say disrespectful shit to the nigga. So over time, I move in with her, and this particular day, I'll never forget it. It was a Sunday because I know what I do on Sundays, right? So when I came home, I had on a full like suit type thing. I don't even wear suits and shit like that now. But back then I had a suit on. But something in my mind said, nigga, change clothes. And I couldn't understand why something on me so heavy to change clothes. So at this time, me and her had gotten into a little spat, and I wasn't really feeling her at this point. I went upstairs and I heard the door knock. Now, at this time, me and her starting to remodel the house. So the house starting to look different, right? He comes to the house and he says, he's trying to holler at her. He didn't know what my car looked like. And I was upstairs and I ain't making no noise. Cause I'm sort of like, what the fuck going on? But at the same time, I'm like, fuck up. Like I was really on some cocky shit because I said, man, fuck her. I ain't got nothing to do. That's what I said to myself. I ain't got nothing to do with what the fuck going on with her and her baby daddy today. That's exactly what I said.
Okay.
But I heard her say, leave. You got to go. I sort of heard her standing on the relationship and she's telling him he got to go. Now, I hear her try to close the door and I hear her say, yo, why would you kick my door? Not a nigga in me. It's like, nigga, you live here. Can't nobody come to your crib disrespecting your crib like that. So
exactly.
I'm already, like I said, I was heated at her already. I come downstairs and I'm like, look, G, she already told you got to go out the band. My man is in his feelings this day. And he's just like, fuck you, nigga. Yeah. I had a steel pole on the side of the crib. Back in the day, we used to call them nigga beaters. We used
Okay.
to have wood, and we used to wrap wood up. But then I just had a pole. I was like, this is a perfect little pole. Because I had dogs and shit, and I used to hit the floor with the pole to train their ass, right? So I grabbed the pole. And this is when I tell you, like, when the nigga tell you something, it's two type of niggas. A nigga gonna tell you something and he ain't gonna do it, and the nigga that will do it. I had the pole in my hand. I said, nigga, if you don't get up off of my motherfucking property, I'm gonna crack you dead in your shit. He thought
she moved out the way.
Oh, she wasn't even in the vicinity now. She didn't when I came downstairs, because I didn't came downstairs like in
The suit's still on.
no, I got on
Oh,
some
you did
jogging
change.
pants.
Oh.
Yeah, because I changed. Because I'm listening to them now. Now it's making sense why I got to change. Why I'm listening to them. So I come downstairs. I ain't had no shirt on, and if anybody know me, I got a big ass cut across my stomach, so I don't really rock without my shirt, right? So I come down the stairs, and I say, nigga, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna bust you with this fucking pipe. This nigga says some shit along the lines of fuck you, nigga. I ain't going no motherfucking well, you bitch. And I had a thing with niggas calling me a bitch. Bitch ass nigga. Before I knew it, my hand, pow! I just smacked him with this shit. But I got a thing when I get mad, I go from 0 to 1,000,000 real quick.
I understand.
So I smacked him with the pole, and then I was like, fuck this shit. Fuck this pole. Nigga, let's go. And he rushed me. And when he rushed me, I used to wrestle in high school. So I understand body weight. So when he came at me, I just backed up, and I caught him in a motherfucking, like a little head, like the same move dude had me in back in high school. But I'm cranking on this motherfucker. So we backs me up into the corner of the crib, right? And I got him, and he decides that he wants to reach, because he kept saying, let me go. And he decided the way that he wanted to use his defense, because all's fair in a fight, right? He wanted to reach and try to grab my nuts and tried to like grab my shit. But I crossed my legs, but I still had him in the fucking hole. But because he was trying to grab my nuts, my hands are locked in, so I can't do nothing else.
You better
wait a minute. So by now, the police have come.
But where is your girl at?
She was like out. She was out the way. You don't understand. When I get mad, I'm like, move. I'm like, move. When I came down the stairs, I was in move mode because I went. You got to remember, I said when they was first arguing, I was like, fuck both them. But when he kicked the door, half of it was like, nigga, I just put that door up. I had a motherfucker redesigning the crib. Like I was doing some extra shit in the crib. So I came downstairs on principle about the door. It wasn't even really about her. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was about, because now I live there now. I wasn't just coming through this to get some cooch. I live there now. You know what I'm saying? Her daughter at the time was like my little baby girl. You understand what I'm saying? So when now I'm like, no, now you at my crib and she told you leaving. Now you want to sit up here and act big and bad because you didn't think I was up in this bitch. Now I came downstairs, told you to ask you to leave, and you ain't leave. Now we done got the rumbling. Now you can try to grab my nuts. Yeah, well, first I cracked you with the fucking pipe and came on in the crib. Now the door's wide open. That's how the police walked right in. When the police came in, I still had him. And then I had to say, hey, I live here. Because I looked at the fact that I was the nigga with no shirt on. And see, when he came at me, I had a pair of glasses that had like it had like, you know how you got glasses and it's like a little piece here on the inside, and he came at me and the glasses. If you look at my forehead, I got like a little bitty dot right here. The glasses hit the screw had
Hit
poked
you.
me,
I got you.
so I got blood on my face. You understand what I'm saying? Like, right. So, make a long story short, the police, because we got the move and shit. It was a pistol on the floor, but the police, once they found out the dude came and I stayed there, the dude was like, "Oh, nigga, that's self defense." He's like, "I don't see shit in the." He's like, "I don't see shit," and I just kicked that motherfucker back because the pistol wasn't even registered. It was like back in the day type shit. So he's like, I don't see shit." So they end up taking him to jail, and he had a chunk out his arm, and he lost that fight that night. Because by the time this is exactly what the police told me. They said, "Man, if we had not got here, probably within a minute or a minute and a half of the way you was choking him, he would have been brain dead, or you would have killed him."
Ooh, and you didn't know how strong you had him?
Listen, after the fight, this is the worst part about the fight. The next day, I wake up. I squeezed my man so tight that my muscles locked up on my ass. I was walking around the house. If I turned, I had to turn my whole fucking body.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
So I was so enraged. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like I told somebody this today. I said, people don't know what you've walked away from that they're getting ready to walk into.
Exactly.
Like, that's a real serious thing when you don't know what has made a person who they are.
Today. Yep. That's true.
And because your principles don't lie in that same situation, principles to another person mean everything. People have died off of somebody else's principles.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody has molested somebody's child, and the father, off the principle of the fact that his daughter was molested, went and killed the other. Go look it up. It's documented. It's a lot of them.
It is.
A lot of To every action, there's a reaction, and this is what I was having a conversation about somebody today. To every action, there's a reaction, and then there's a reaction, and then there's a reaction, and then there's and we never know anything outside of the action and the reaction. After those two things happen, everything else that falls in, don't nobody know what that fucking shit is going to be.
True.
Like right now, I love the fuck out you, right? But if we was if we was out somewhere drinking one night and just kicking it, and I got drunk, and I start calling you all kind of bitches, and I smacked you on the ass and called you a hoe, you might fuck around and fuck me up.
I will finally try to give you benefit of the doubt because your ass drunk.
But guess what? If you drinking with me, that outcome could be a different outcome.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if we drinking on the same level. I said that earlier in the show. Have you ever went to the bar with somebody and you found out they couldn't handle their liquor 2 hours into it? Yeah. That's how we got into the story about me being in college and having that first drink and waking up next to a motherfucker like, who the fuck is this? I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Right.
And to that, and from every reaction, there's a reaction. That was a downfall from me even dealing with her that night. Because guess what? I tried to deal with her after that and found out that she was a fucking hoe. You understand what I'm saying? And
you talking about the girl who was that?
Oh man, when I woke up next to it, I was like, who the fuck is you?
But you said you
I
couldn't
didn't, and at
remember
that point,
doing
I didn't
anything.
even,
So
I
I
didn't
was.
even know it
I
was
mean, I
doing
know
it with
you.
that.
You said you didn't remember doing anything with her, so I assumed
I don't even
that you
remember how I
wanted
got
to do
home.
it again so you can remember what you did.
No, because see, like, okay, I told you I threw up in the room, right?
Yes.
So she helped clean up and shit, and we like talked a little bit. And then I was like, okay, she's cute. Okay. I sort of patted myself on the back because, like I said, this was my first drunk night in history. So I'm like, hey, okay. I said, I actually fucked up last night because I don't know too many niggas that can get with a girl and throw up in the bed with that motherfucker. And the motherfucker ain't gonna wake up and be like, nigga, what? Nah! You understand what I'm saying? She got up like, okay, well, you didn't throw up on my side of the bed. Let's just fold this shit up and get, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a conversation. I'm 17 years old. Let me go ahead and let me get to know her. I had no idea she was a motherfucking, had no idea. By the time I found out she wasn't nothing, I had found out, like I started having animosity towards women. Then I met the 23-year-old woman. Like I did the 23-year-old so fucking bad, G. Like, listen, I told you she used to come from the south suburbs to DeKalb,
Yes.
right? This is the honest God truth. I can call a nigga
You
right
mean
now.
you was still messing with her when you accidentally slept with the
No.
when you got drunk?
No. After that, I got with her like afterwards.
Okay.
Because this was the first party of the year. Like, remember I told you I had just got to college. I ain't have no background. I ain't know the niggas out there. You know what I'm saying? Like this is even before I got with my guy that I was talking about that I started doing shit with. So this was like the first weekend. So after that, I met the 23-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So then she started coming up to the school and shit. I was so bad, man, and I don't say this to gain any brownie points at all because I know brownie points to gain from this shit. Like, Shorty drove her car up to the school, and I'd be like, "Yo, me and my guys about to go to Rockford." Now she done came from the south suburbs to the cab, which is over an hour away, right?
Exactly.
And I say, me and my guys going to Rockford. One night, me and my guys get completely just slapped. And we get on the expressway on the way home. And I had no idea. I didn't have it in drive. I had it in lower drive. Oh, I fucked that engine up. I had to call her. She had to come from the college to where the car was, get us back to the college. She went home. This is when the story gets really dirty. She rented a car the following week, and me and my guys went right back to Rockford. And I ain't gonna even say the type of stuff I used to say. I used to, don't leave this room until I get back. Like, I don't want to hear. Listen.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I told you I was asked to pimp one time.
You
and
who?
I was asked to pimp when I
Oh my God.
I was about 28, 29. I know I was close to 30. And tell you how old this was. This is when MySpace was out. So I've always been able, MySpace, you could create your page and make it look exactly how you want it to look, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a little nick for that. So I had a little hustle on the side where I would create people's pages for them and then, go about my business. I met one lady that told me that she was doing some shit in the sex industry, right?
Oh Lord Jesus.
And she asked me after I had created, her stuff and whatnot, because while I'm creating the stuff, I had to talk to her to find out what, So over this time, she was like, you know what? Like, you should pimp me. And at first, my first reaction was, I got to think about this, right?
Pimp
And at
me.
first there was some excitement to it because at the time I was already hustling. I was, you got to understand where I was at in my life. I was hustling in the streets, so I was like, this pimping shit. You know what I mean? So stop laughing at me because I'm delivered. I'm delivered from this story.
I understand, but it's still funny
So
though.
listen.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
The reason I said no to pimping
Mhm.
was because at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna get money. But then I found out this shorty fucked with a little drugs, right?
Oh, okay.
So I asked myself, Russ, if you're supposed to be pimping her and she ain't got the money, what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Right. What you gonna do?
And the answer was, if she ain't got my money, from what I understand a pimp to be, I got to beat her ass.
I don't see you being that.
But see, this is the thing. Listen. And I asked myself,
Is that
Russ,
something
would
you
you
can
be
do?
cool with beating a motherfucker's ass? And you know what the answer was? This is the answer. This is why I said no. I said, Russ, you know you have an addictive personality. Anything you do, you go all out in it. And if you get into something where you are expected to draw down on a motherfucker, and if that day comes, you're gonna have to do it. And the thought of becoming comfortable, because I have an addictive personality, with that, I had an issue with looking at myself saying, yeah, because on the making money side, yeah, but having to beat a bitch ass and like having to in order to be that. See, that's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people want to be parts of shit and don't understand what it all entails. Like even like the conversation of the poly shit and a lot of niggas want to be in poly shit just to be a hoe without being what the people that really love what a
Love
poly
what it is.
relationship is,
Exactly.
and they share that with a person, like even if it's they got 17 people on the chart, that's a understanding that they got. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't if I gotta have the understanding that if you ain't got this money, and on top of that, I know that this is the other thing. I know you do dope.
My money ain't gonna be here. And when your money is funny, you
What
gonna
am I
find that
supposed to
too.
do?
Right.
And it was like everything kept going back to beating her ass. And then it was like, what if I get more than one? So I'm gonna be around beating 4, 5 motherfuckers' asses because they ain't got my money. And I just saw my like when I watch Cat Williams or like any movie with my motherfucker like bitch motherfucker, I'd be like that niggas used to tell me like you remind me of Cat Williams. And the only thing Cat Williams had ever done at that time was Money Fucking Mike.
Right.
They'd be like your voice and everything. It's just I'd be like yeah, okay. I went to jail for some shit. I almost went to, and then I thought about that. What happens when I go to jail for pimping? Like, because if you go to jail for pimping, you might as well pimp the rest of your fucking life. Especially if you get locked up for a nice period of time, you might as well come out like, shit, I know the game now. I might as well be Fillmore. Like, I knew names of pimps. Like, I studied Fillmore Slim.
You went and
like, I knew niggas. I read the book. And I was like, every fucking book comes down to pimping. And then I watched a documentary of, you remember how they used to have the Players Ball?
Yes, you mean
And
the
they used
Players
to,
Ball
in the
here in
90s they used
Chicago?
to, yeah, you know they used to, and
Yeah.
they have Players Ball in different spots now.
Okay.
So
Back then, we know where they
yeah,
were for
yeah.
real.
So I watched this and I watched this one, and it
Mhm.
was one nigga. He was so fucking hood. I was like, this nigga ain't no pimp. This nigga is Leroy from the block. I said, is that what pimping gonna be for me? I said, oh man. I said, now that's when I was like, now that part of it ain't in me to be that fucking cruel and shit. As long as a motherfucker saying, like, listen, could you just come to because this was the thing. I was like, how are you expecting me to do this? It was like under the rules of, well, all I need you, this is how she was gonna get me. All I need you to do is just watch me and make sure that, if I go into a situation that somebody could, make sure I'm okay. And at that point, I was doing wild shit, so that didn't bother me so much. I thought about how it could really go bad, but I was like, it didn't really bother me so much. You know what I'm saying? But it was what if I go out and what if I'm expecting your workday to start at fucking 5 o'clock and I pull up at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and you give me $30, but I see you high. Or you give me just $30, period. The fucking natural response is, where the rest? And then remember I said every action is the reaction, then there's a reaction after that. After, where's the rest? What she says is going to be another reaction. And then it's going to go back and forth. And I like to be in control of what I can. If I can't control it, I am very unsettled with it. I can barely touch it. It's not tangible to me if I can't make it make sense to me. And that made too much sense to me because there was only one rule. Because I'm better have my money.
Right.
I'm thinking of the song popped in my head. But
yes.
But better have my money that's the end all game to that whole fucking conversation. I don't know one pimp that has never gotten to a confrontation with the one that he was pimping. Not no real pimp. Not no motherfuckers that got a habit and they just going to fuck. And he said, go out there and get that shit. But no, not a nigga that pimping is a part of their lifestyle. It's a part of how they dress. It's a part of how they walk, how they talk. All of that shit. Oh no, that's no. That takes a whole nother level of being a cold-hearted person for me. Personally. And the scary part was I thought about tapping into it, and because I felt I had an addictive personality, I was like, oh, this shit gonna go all the way bad. I'm gonna be Jerome in 20 years with a tooth missing and a fur coat. Bitches! Wearing some shit from 30 years ago. That's gonna be me because I'm still gonna be, because if I get into it, it's gonna be hard for me to get up out of that shit. It's gonna take some prayer warriors and churches to come and lay hands on me and to stay around me and have the church be around me.
Out of it.
Nigga. I know that for a fact because that's how I got out of the streets. When I was heavy into the streets, this is a story a lot of niggas don't know about me. When I was into the streets, it was one day, like I was just like I was ready to just take myself up out of here. I'm so sick.
Wow.
And I had a gallon of Chavez, and I don't even drink Chavez. I had a gallon of Chavez. It's like whiskey. It's a whiskey.
Oh, okay.
I had a gallon of Chavez or a hard cognac, one or two, but I know it's real dark. Had a gallon of that, and I had a quarter pound of weed on the table. And I had made up in my mind that this particular day, I was tired of being a young nigga. Because I had an older man tell me, he said, man, you live in a life that most niggas that 40 years old can't even understand. Because I had advanced so much in certain areas, but I was so underdeveloped in others, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this particular day, and it was a Sunday, this is why I have such respect for my pastor now, and why even in the midst of things that I go through right now, I have control over myself. I sat there and I didn't go to church on a Sunday, and everybody knew I was at church every Sunday because at that particular point in my life, I was just really learning how to play keys, but I was really known as being the saxophone guy. And I got a lot of love for being the saxophone guy, right? And I love the music of it. I was really, really in love with it. So the way the story goes is while I'm at the crib thinking about ending everything for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pastor or the bishop was this is how the story goes. They say he was preaching and dead in his sermon, and he looked over to like in the direction of where the band is, and he just stopped and said, "Hey, where is Russ?" And from that moment, he had some type of feeling where he said he stopped the sermons and began to pray for me. This is the true story.
Mm-hmm.
So when he prayed for me, a guy that I knew ended up calling me after church. Now, by this time of the day, I'm the licking kicked in. So when my guy calls me, I'm like, man, what? Yeah, that typical drunk shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yo, man, where you at? I'm about to come see you. And I said, no. I said, I ain't gonna let you in. By the time you get here, and this is when I said, by the time you get here, I'll be gone already. The nigga sat on the phone and talked to me so long that I fell asleep. He never got in the crib. He came to the crib, but he couldn't get in the crib because on 71st Street, you had to have
A bus thing. Yeah.
you had to be buzzed in.
Mm-hmm.
So I fell asleep, woke up, look at my phone. This back in the days of flip phones and shit. I flip this motherfucker open and I see just a bunch of missed calls from different people. So this guy named Robert Simpson called me. And he's the one that really broke the whole fucking thing down to me about what happened at church. And because the dude didn't tell me none of this while he was talking. He was just trying to talk me down.
Right.
And he talked me until I passed out. Right. So the next day, Robert calls me and says, man, what's going on with you? Now, the dude ain't talked to Robert. He said, what's going on with you? I said, nothing. He said, man, Pastor, that's when he gave me the whole script. Pastor was preaching and he just stopped and had the whole church praying for you yesterday. So the following week was rehearsal. And at this particular time, this is when praise and worship first hit the black church. And niggas wasn't really vibing with it. So most of the people on the praise and worship team were people that were really into praise and worship.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have the musical skills. They probably weren't the best singers in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting on the organ, and again, another freak moment happens. They stop and they look over and they say, Russ, what's wrong with you? I said, no. They walk over to the organ and they surround the organ. And it's a woman named Famous. her story is so interesting because she has no problem with telling us she was a former drug addict and a former prostitute, and she gave her life over to God when she was in jail. But when she came out, she changed the whole thing. She came over there and touched my shoulder, and everybody started praying around me, and I just started to cry. I mean, but this is not your normal cry.
I know what you're talking about.
Because the tears are coming so hard, I'm telling myself to stop, but they not.
Don't stop.
It's not coming in my nose and shit. Like, these niggas get to praying. So
Right.
after this whole situation, after they pray and all this other stuff, I can call their names right now to this day. Lisa Kenshin, which I was just at the funeral with her on Saturday. Her mother Beulah, Famous, Rosie Davis, Robert Simpson, and I believe that was it. Those were the only people that were in the room. Oh, and his mother Rosie. So after that day, these niggas didn't like. They would drop me off at the crib, but they would be back the fucking first thing in the fucking morning, and they would pick me up and like. Lisa would come get me, and then when Lisa had something to do, she'd take me over Famous crib. And when Famous had something to do, she'd take like they just made sure that I was not by my fucking self. So, so a person that does not know that side of me doesn't know if I didn't give a fuck about my own shit at one point. What the fuck I give a fuck about you if you push me to that point?
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that in growing up, the hardest thing of growing up is walking away from your former self when your former self was not as good as you are now. That's why when you ask me about if I was there and a nigga was fucking my bitch, and in that moment, how would I respond? I don't know. Now I know what my initial I'd fuck dude up is, but if I was in it, each response, reaction, and word could be a trigger or a cool down for me. It could be something to make me say, "Oh man, this is some bullshit." You fuck both of y'all. You could say something that's so fucking asinine that it would make me just be like, "This ain't even fucking worth it." Or I can see you acting like I can see a nigga becoming such a bitch because the heat got turned on so serious that, yeah, you fuck my girl, but you ain't got no frick. You don't. You might be a tough nigga, but you're not willing to go as far as I'm willing to go. That's a difference maker in dealing with somebody along those lines. That's why I say I can't say what I would do because I can hear both. You know when we used to watch cartoons,
the little angel and the little
angel on one side, and you got a devil on the other side.
Yes.
And what did the person in the middle do? He's until he just went with one.
Or neither and just walked away.
Yeah, but then usually in the cartoons, he went with one.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole point in bringing them into the scenario of the thing. He went with one. Either he went with one and it wasn't a good idea, and then the angel came back and said something to him, and he came back around, or he went with the angel. But in life, we got that shit going on every day.
We do.
You got the little angel on your side saying, "Listen, you came too far to go back now."
Exactly.
And then you get that part of you, that devil on the side saying, "Fuck that." Nigga, this you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why they say you fight yourself every day.
Man.
You
I'm about to play this last clip.
Your own self.
Listen, I'm about to play this last clip, and this will end it for the night. I'm
Okay.
gonna play some bullshit after this, but I want you to listen to this clip right here.
Okay.
Hold on.
somebody gotta say it. And I be the bitch to say it. There are two things that go through a man's mind every single day. What happened yesterday that he could have did better? And what happened today that could possibly affect tomorrow? Y'all gotta understand, a man is in a mental race with the world. And we all know that in races, the end goal is to reach the finish line the fastest, right? But what's the finish line of his life? If his life is a race, a constant battle, every single solitary day with life, the world, friends, family, job, shit, himself, his past, his childhood, his relationship, if every single aspect of his life is a battle and he's constantly in the race, wouldn't that mean his life is coming to an end? I mean, time is passing us all by at the same pace, so he only got energy to operate off of. So if you know that he defeating this world by himself, then you should know that he dying in the inside. It's simple.
What you think about that before we get up out of here?
I mean, I don't look at it like that, I guess. I don't look at it like you running a race, and if you get to that race, it's the end for the person. Because it depends on what you're running a race for, or what are you trying to do. Because once you get there, it might be something that you always wanted to do, but then that just elevate and you can relax. Instead of dying, how she putting it, it could be at a point when you get there and you like this. Finally, peace.
Yeah.
Finally, rest.
Yeah.
Finally, I don't have to worry. Finally, I don't have to do this. Finally, I don't have to do this, that, or whatever. So I don't look at it like it's like you get to the end of your race or whatever that you have to do is the end. I look at it now. You at the end of you can have peace and rest.
Okay, let me say this.
That's how I look at it. But
I've been a firm believer of in life, right? When we have reached our final plateau, we out of here. Because if we believe in the afterlife, right?
Yeah.
That's enough. So the whole time we're here, we're going through something.
Exactly.
We're either helping somebody, destroying somebody, helping ourselves, or destroying ourselves. So every day, a struggle that it's rich people that kill themselves every day, and poor people be like, nigga, you had billions. But that billions didn't mean nothing to that person. They was going through something that didn't nobody else understand.
Right. I get that. But I'm saying, like, just say for you, your goal is to have your podcast reach millions of people, and then you elevate it to that point. So in your head, you should be able to say, yeah, I did it. Now I got a platform, like keep it running, but you're a little bit more at rest. Yeah. You're a little bit more calmer. You're a little bit more like, okay.
But even though I'm a lot more calmer in where the shows are, it's not what my final destination for what I see being. So it's a comfortable.
But I'm saying when you get so you're saying whenever you get to just say whatever your scene ending point is, why would you think that is the end of?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, because then it'll be a new chapter.
Right.
See, like we only see as far as we can see. Once we get there, then guess what? There's something else that comes after that, because life keeps lifing. Nobody thought one day that we would wake up and they would be talking about Corona and the world is shutting down.
Right.
Never did we ever think that.
I mean, I didn't think I would probably be here when it did it. That was my thought process.
But I'm saying, no. Right. We think about the ending of the world. Like,
yes.
Like when it's all over. That's what we think of when shit like that happens. When Corona.
But I mean, I also thought about when it happened. If we're gonna go in like the Bible part of it, they said all these other diseases was gonna come. But I still in my head
the first level of that. It's the first.
But I still thought in my head though, I wasn't gonna be here to see any of that.
How many plagues did Pharaoh get?
A lot. Right, but I still to this day I would have never had thoughts. I would have.
That's what I'm saying. You never thought that you dealt with it until you had to deal with it.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. Like even though I got the show right now and I'm comfortable where we are right now, I still got another goal. But once I get there, what will I look at this the same way and say, oh, I might say, hey, you know what? You've been doing great on Tuesday nights. Why don't you just take Tuesday nights? Or why don't you just take Thursday nights now? I'm moving on to another project now. Because you've been with me long enough and you know how this runs, and you got enough ideas. I could trust you with that at that point. At this point, it's like, hey, I got people on the show, but it's not at that point where I can say, well, if something happens to me today, can I trust the show to run without me? Because if so, it would have ran on Tuesday. But then you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I didn't feel I was going through something, not feeling shit on Tuesday. Ida had a thunderstorm out in where she's at in North Carolina.
Right.
My guy's on the phone. Shantae had something going on. So I didn't see none of that coming either.
Right. That's true.
I didn't see that until the day of.
That's true. I mean, I feel the same way because I have a business. So for me, I feel the same way. Like if something was to happen to me, it leaves with me.
Yeah.
It's no one else taking it over. I don't have no one to leave it.
It's your baby. It's your baby.
It's mine. And then I don't have any like how you have children or whatever. I don't have that. So I can't leave you. I can't leave it. It's not.
And guess what? Who's to say that they want to eat? Listen, this is a crazy.
And then who say they want to do it?
They may have another plan for their life. Hey, yo. Yeah, I want to get y'all set up for next week. Because I know our topic next week is, ooh, buddy. I think I got somebody that's gonna fill in or maybe joining the cast. I'm trying to see.
I'm not here next week.
I know. What did I say? I said I may be having somebody to fill in next week, or possibly trying to join the cast. I know what I'll be talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
so when I come back on, I'll be like, oh, hey.
Now I want you to watch what I'm gonna play a song that's gonna let y'all know where we're going next week. Let me know if you want to dance with me.
These BBLs killing y'all, and the thighs don't match. Well, turn to your neighbor and say, these BBLs killing y'all. Oh, yeah. And the thighs don't match. What a shame.
It's my shame.
These BBLs killing. These BBLs killing y'all. 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 These BBLs killing y'all.
Blow up.
Killing y'all. Killing y'all. Killing y'all. I know I look like a bug. You better show me some love. When you see me online, you know I paid a good price. Slide in my DMs, boy, come holler at me. Gotta get acquainted with this new fatty. Your favorite IG model ain't got nothing on me. Fashion Nova on my peach with this Georgia donkey. I would've hit the gym, but I didn't have the time. I got receipts, so you know it's mine.
Really? You didn't bring in the
thighs don't match.
That's the old school.
Well, turn to your neighbor and say,
it's called the WAP.
BBLs killing y'all. Oh, yeah. And the thighs don't match.
Yo, we hope y'all tuned in next week. Had a good time with y'all tonight. Love y'all, man. Y'all be easy. Don't let them BBLs kill your black ass out here. I'm just trying to tell you. We're gonna talk about it.